It's like I've been knifed in the vertebrae. Like that, like a hatchet hit me or something. I think a hatchet has hit me. What are we supposed to do? Yeah, no reports of any injured persons. There's no fucking. It says that the loud bang in Oslo, Norway is a regular sound or whatever, but it's the tensions on people's minds are freaking out. So that's what's going on right there. That's fine. Everybody's freaked out about the war. What's Iran gonna do? They're gonna fail, and their government's gonna be changed. What's up, Nana? It's gonna be regime change coming down the pipeline. Hey, a couple of friends of mine just had an improvised explosive device thrown at them at a protest in New York City. So that's fantastic. Thank you, Nana. I just found out about, well, I saw it happen live, but I wasn't 100% sure until the city of New York absolutely talked about it, and I was like, oh my God. So you saw that, Nana? So real quick, before I get into the news, because we've got a lot to talk about today, earlier in New York City, there was a hands-off Iran protest. And then there was Jake Lang that appeared to show up at the hands-off Iran protest. So I'll take you back yesterday. Last night, or last afternoon, I should say, in Washington Square Park. What's up, America? What's up, Allie? What's up, America? So yesterday in Washington Square Park in New York City, what's up, Ice? So you watched it? There was a pro-Ayatollah Khomeini rally in Washington Square Park where a bunch of terrorist sympathizers held a rally for the death, or a memorial for the death of Ayatollah Khomeini, and pledged allegiance to the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the people that murder people. So two of my friends went up to New York City, one of them named White Rabbit that lives down in Florida. Another one I've just recently started talking to, I Am the Midnight. And apparently they decided to suit up with Jake Lang for some reason. What's up, America? So they drove up with a U-Haul truck with a goat and said that Ayatollah Khomeini was a goat fucker, then told Islam was a piece of shit, then to get out of New York City. Cops shut the van and had him leave. That was last night. Then earlier today, there was a hands-off Iran protest in New York City, and Jake Lang was there with a couple of other people that I know who they are, and there was only about 15 of them and about 125 or 130 protesters against Jake Lang. Fair enough, they were going back and forth, yelling their shit, whatever. So at some point, an Islamic terrorist, yeah, he had a goat with him. So at some point, an Islamic terrorist with a nail bomb threw it, lit it and threw it at Jake Lang, my friend White Rabbit, and a guy named I Am the Midnight on TikTok, but the bomb didn't ignite. Now, here's the thing with all this. First of all, there were only about 15 people that were at the Jake Lang protest, and about 150 to 200 that were protesting them. That was part of another protest that was a counter. It was a whole fucked up thing. My whole thing is this. I know for a fact that they tried to kill Jake Lang in Minnesota. Okay? Yeah, the goat is okay. I did see that. And I've seen a couple of videos that White Rabbit and a couple other people have put up. Here's the thing about that. White Rabbit makes okay content. I Am the Midnight does. Jake Lang is a fucking Nazi, though. I'll show that here at the end of the stream. And Jake Lang is a Nazi. So I'm not a big supporter of Jake Lang because he's a fucking neo-Nazi and he doesn't like black people. And not only does he not like him, he goes on camera. Now, I understand the anti-Islam thing. I'm not a huge proponent of Islam myself. But some of the things that Jake Lang has said has basically... What's up, Steph? Some of the things... Yeah, I know. Jake Lang is not even a white supremacist. He just simply doesn't like black people. And he doesn't like Islam. Now, I don't like Islam, but I don't have a problem with black people. A couple of my friends were saying you might want to distance yourself from Jake Lang and those people because Jake Lang is a known racist. And I know that White Rabbit and I Am the Midnight are not. I Am Midnight is actually Jewish. But it's a really weird time. This is basically what I'm getting at with this point here, is that it's a very weird time to have a guy in Florida that's a friend of mine hanging out with a neo-Nazi, also hanging out with a Jewish guy that got bar mitzvahed, while driving around with two Jewish guys in a U-Haul saying that Ayatollah Khomeini fucks a goat. Oh, it's a beautiful collection. So it's a very weird... I've never seen any type of situation like this. Then you have Islamic terrorists throwing nail bombs at people that are protesting because they don't like, what do you want to call that, memorials to Ayatollah Khomeini. At the same time, as weird as this is, that guy, White Rabbit, now that he's been attacked, is now more onto Jake Lang's side, as Jake Lang and White Rabbit were just shown... I'm trying to find out. It's a whole mess. I'll show you the videos later. So Jake Lang and fucking White Rabbit were carrying, with a couple other men, a table with a roasted pig headed to Zohran Mamdani's office. And that's the last I've seen of it. So we had a big news today as some TikTokers had a bomb thrown at them protesting Islam in New York City. The one guy was arrested. They got ran out on a rail out of as the police had to protect them from hundreds of protesters, only to come back to directly try to assault the office of Zohran Mamdani. I was like, oh my fucking God. So this right here, yeah, they had a bomb thrown at them. I wasn't there. I just know some of these people. So I was like, what the fuck? Now, another friend of mine on TikTok was like I said, you need to distance yourself from Jake Lang because he's been saying the N-word quite a bit. And I agree on that. I don't support any type of massive racism like that. So I'm not a big proponent of Jake Lang. I am a proponent of free speech, but this is what the question I want to... Yeah, it's just New York City normal life. But at what point, and this is what... Yeah, I wasn't there. I just take the pick. I'm in fucking the Midwest, actually. I just know the people that were there. So my whole question to you here in the chat is, at what point with free speech? Yeah, I'm not a coward. I live here. I work. I have kids, you fucking retard. Anyway, so at what point is free speech, except like, if you're with submarine, so if you're saying the N-word at a protest, is that free speech? If you throw a bomb at somebody, it's clearly not free speech. He called me a slob. What a fucking piece of shit. Anyway, so like I said, a couple of my friends were up in New York City. A couple of TikTokers on here. They were hanging out with the racist Jake Lang, and a Muslim terrorist threw a bomb at him that didn't go off, even though they were mocking Islam and calling the prophet a child molester. So, I'm a slob. How am I a slob? What the fuck? I actually work for a living, you fucking dick wipe. Really? Really, we're doing this with you fucking... Oh, I'm sorry. Was it because I hate Islam? I don't even hate Islam. I just hate you fucking assholes. That's all it is. Thank you, Angelo. See, here's the thing about it. It's like, how do I put this? I'm over the fucking talking shit. Like, what? I don't listen to anybody anymore. I don't listen to anybody. Like, I already, from what I've seen just today, like I said, I'm not a fan of Jake Lang. He's a racist, okay? But when you try to throw a bomb at somebody, you're not allowed to kill somebody because they're a racist. Even whether you perceive it or not, if you like it or not, you can't kill anybody, you fucking idiots. So I don't understand, at what point did you pass the bar from peaceful protesting to we're going to throw a bomb at somebody because I don't like their speech. I can call you a douchebag, a dumb fuck, blah, blah, blah all day. But there's a line you don't cross, and that's violence. And unfortunately, pro-Islamic protesters and liberals, for the most part, have become violent. The right wing is on the back end. They're taking the shots while the liberals, in many senses, and maybe Israel did cross the line, but how does that give anybody the right to blow up a fucking right-wing conservative because they want to protest Islam? It's a weird time to be alive. And the battle lines, and this is what I'm kind of getting up here, the battle lines are starting to be drawn between a perception of liberalism and a perception of racism. And anything that's not considered liberal is now considered racist. And so that's the exact opposite of the world we should be living in here, which is, he did lie to us, which is unfortunate. So I'm trying to discover at what point this all went sideways and at what point we can pull this in. So would you consider Rand Paul a Nazi? Would you consider John Fetterman a Nazi? Would you consider Bill Maher a Nazi? Some of you do. Yeah, just go look up Jake Lang on X and look up by the latest, and goddamn. But some of you that consider Bill Maher a conservative now, some of you that consider John Fetterman a neo-Nazi, you're deranged. You don't understand it because you have a mental illness. You see how that works? But you are deranged. You've gone into a derangement. Bill Maher is not a conservative. Neither is John Fetterman. But the fact that you say they're not liberal enough, they're not progressive enough, is exactly what MAGA did to your side. And you have become liberal MAGA now. And I'm not saying your ideology is the same as MAGA. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the extremist behavior that you hated, you have become. You're throwing bombs at people. You're expressing the desire to kill because you don't like a political opinion. You're no better than the neo-Nazis that you claim to be fighting. What's up, Shermanator? What's up, Woodsman? And that's why I can't support liberals. But if I don't support liberals, then they'll try to kill me too. Because you're not allowed to have any other opinion except that. And I don't know how this happened. I thought liberals were supposed to be a progressive school of thought, not a regressive, violent Stasi-like situation that's going on here. Unfortunately, we're now getting that, and a lot of tensions are flaring here in the United States because of the Iran war, because of Trump, because of this, that, or the other. A lot of it has been fanned by the mainstream media and nonprofit, politically backed organizations. Those are the two biggest issues. And when they get into bed together, that's one of the worst things. But I have a question for liberals. What is your plan once Trump is gone? This is the most independent, damn right. What are you going to do when Trump is gone? Because I keep hearing Trump's bad, we got to get him out of office, fuck ICE. All the blah, blah, blahs are fine. That's wonderful. What are your plans? Right? This is what nobody's talking about. I have yet to hear a single liberal tell me a plan they have when Donald Trump is gone. I've heard, fuck me, I'm a piece of shit, I deserve to die. None of those are plans to govern a nation. Saying I'm a fucking retard doesn't govern a nation. Saying you want to kill me doesn't govern a nation. That's not a plan. That's just a statement and a directive. I want to know what your plans are to unfuck what you believe is the problem. And none of you can ever say it. Even in the chat here, I'm literally asking liberals, what is your plan other than fuck me and kill me? Okay? Because none of it, and none of you can ever tell me without some type of violent rhetoric either. I went to grad school, so fuck you. That's why. That's why I'm qualified. All right? I went to school for anthropology, religion. I went to nonprofit management grad school, taking political science, taking fucking logic. What the fuck do you want from me? The problem is none of you, like I said, what do you think you make? I don't give a fuck what your hatred of me is. I want to hear your plans. That's what it is. You're telling me I'm a dumbass doesn't do anything. What? It doesn't do anything. All it does is just reaffirm that I'm not going to vote for you. You see how that works? That's all it does, is you being violent, angry, mean, blah, blah, blah. All that does, no, they just asked what the fuck qualifies me. I'm like, I have more education than you. So as far as I can tell, dude, I have a degree right up there, you fucking piece of shit. But either way, instead of talking your cocksuck, what's your plan? Huh? Do you hear me? Or do all you know how to do is talk shit? What's your plan, dumb fuck? That's all I got to ask. What's your plan? None of you can fucking mention it. All you can do is talk shit. Look at you fucking retards. All you can do is talk shit. Not one of you liberals has a plan. Not one of you. Seriously, prove me wrong. Give me any plan, liberal, any. Without threatening me with death or talking shit, pull your fucking violence in and lead. I wasn't even a conservative until you fuckfaces tried to fucking say you wanted me dead. Know what I'm saying? And so none of you have a plan. Vote blue. Wonderful. Why should I vote for you? That's what I'm asking. Why should I vote for you? Give me a reason. Healthcare. Okay. Elaborate. Are we going to do it like Canada where you fucking wait 6 months to a year for surgery? What are we doing here? Elaborate. This is what I'm talking about. I can't bring guests on like TikTok here. So you have to elaborate. What do you want with healthcare? What do you want with this, that, or the other? Elaborate. Give me an idea so I can write it down. Add it to the government. I'm trying to make a government. And instead of having liberals just yell and talk shit, I'd like to hear what your goddamn opinion is. But if all it is I hate you, then that's not a plan. That's just fucking primates throwing shit at each other. We have to evolve from primates throwing shit at each other. And none of you can do that. None of you liberals will evolve from, well, okay, shut up, incel. Okay, tell me your plan, you fucking piece of shit. Once again, you're throwing shit at me. That's all you can do. You're a monkey throwing shit at me. Give me a goddamn plan that has some type of coherence. Calling me a retard is not a plan. Saying I'm a piece of shit, this, that, none of those are plans. Thank you, Allie. I love the box guy. So once again, I'm going to ask the liberals on here. What plan of any sort do you have? You're pathetic. Great. Give me your plan, JTS. I didn't ask if I was pathetic. I asked what the plan was. Did I ask your fucking opinion about me personally? No, I asked what the goddamn plan was. Plans to go to the toilet. There you go. Somebody at least said something. So how many of you actually has a plan? What do you want to see not done in the government? What do you do like in the government? What do you do? You're just going to get blocked if you talk shit, so suck my dick. None of you can even mention a single plan at all. Not one of you. I'll wait until one of you liberals that actually is not deranged can tell me what your plan is. Go ahead. Any of you liberals, is any of you, Trump's plan? I don't know. I'm not Trump. Go ask Trump. Absolutely. Go ask Trump. Smoke a joint. There you go. That's what I'm doing. There's a plan. See? Pat knows what time it is. He's got some fucking brains. Thank you. I don't need to ask Israel shit. You're going to be in charge after the midterms. Thank you, Allie. That's why I'm asking the liberals. You're going to be in charge after the midterms. Just doing nothing but impeaching's not a plan. Right? So let's do it. Thank you, Allie. Let's do it. Yeah, great. It's fucked. Wonderful. Wonderful. I want to hear liberals' plans. I don't want to hear you acting mean, vitriol, anger, hateful. Let's go. What's your plan? Somebody talk. Come on, let's go. Come on. Time's a wasting. Let's hear a plan. Let's go. Anybody? Anybody at all? Liberals? Anybody? Let's hear it. One plan that's not fuck me and die. I want to see if any of you liberals have the ability to be kind and even talk. Or if all you know how to do is scream the same phrases in a protest over and over and over and over and over. You just sent me something. Okay, good. Is it a message on here? Because if it's good enough, I'll add it to my government. I'm quite pathetic. Okay, so hold on a second. Let me see here. Shit, you fat old boomer fucktard. Look at him. Look at you, you fat old slob. Look at you. I'm pathetic as I'm asking you what to do. See what I'm talking about? I ask a liberal, what plan do you have? He says, you're pathetic. That's not a plan. Okay, James, tell me your plan. Once again, all you're doing is insulting. You're not giving me a plan. Because that's all you know how to do. You don't have a plan. Your side is retarded. That's why I don't vote for you. I'm not going to vote for Trump, but your side is retarded. Hard R. That's your side. And I can't give you anything because I've been asking for 3 full years. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Ahmed. Troy and Abed in the morning. I like community. So I've been asking liberals this question for 3 years, and I always do this on purpose every great once in a while. I'm going to say the war won't end until September. That's my thoughts on this. So just for the reason I did that, I've been asking liberals now for 3 full years of a plan that they have. Any plan at all. 3 years. And I have yet to get one liberal to give me any ideas whatsoever that would push the envelope forward. So, I'm just going to ask one more time. Oh, thank you, Ahmed. See, he at least is trying. Now, the reason I ask liberals this, and the same with conservatives from time to time. By the way, if you didn't know, I'm not a liberal or a conservative. So, all of you that are out there talking your shit, yeah, you're not going to fuck with me because I'm not a conservative and I'm not a liberal. I hate both of you fuckers, okay? Hands down, I can't stand either one of you fucks. But you see how that works? I mentioned the word liberal and you all came for me. Isn't that funny? I'm an independent. I'm called a social libertarian. So, but I do that every now and again on purpose to try to see what kind of psychos are out there. I believe in very little government. I did twice. I'm black and progressive. Very nice. So if you guys know what a social libertarian is, look up that and you'll find more of my politics. Oh, I stand for something. I have a policy. You just don't know me, Graham, because you assume like every other motherfucker. I don't have to pick a side. No, I don't have to pick a side. I don't have to, once again, pick a side. I'm not going to. You're both fucked up. You're both fucked up. You both have mental issues, both of you. I hope you do. Please do, fuckface. I'm going to be fucking with you too coming up, you piece of shit. Oh, you're a racist. I see what it is. You hate white people. I get it. Goodbye. Suck a dick. So all I want to know is, what do you guys do? I don't have to be right wing or left wing. I read chat, but it's, depends on what it is. So the reason I asked with that is because I want to know how in God's green earth the liberals are going to plan to lead after they win the midterm elections. This is what I'm asking here. This is a relative question that everybody should be asking. I'm America first also. But I just keep asking myself, the liberals are going to be winning in November. I'm not sitting on the fence. I don't give a fuck. I hate both of you because I think you're unevolved as a political party and a political system. I don't have to choose left or right because that's retarded. Left or right is some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. They're both failures. I don't understand why nobody can see that. The left wing is a failure. The right wing is a failure. And you keep telling me I have to choose one or the other, or you're going to talk to me and talk shit. and threaten me with death. I don't have to choose your sides. I hate both of you. I hate liberals and I hate conservatives. You both lie. You're both scum. Both of your political parties are scum-sucking garbage. You're not evolved enough. The right wing's a failure because there's no social safety nets for those that are fucking suffering. That's what it is. And the left is a failure because they've become violent, full of vitriol. You both have lost the point. There used to be 3 or 4 parties. Thank you, my friend. And there's not now. So I just want to know why I have to choose a side. Why I get violent death threats because I have to choose a side. Why don't we evolve our government? It's a uniparty. Thank you, Steph. Anybody that's old enough or has lived through it knows that the left and the right just lie to you. Let me ask you a question for liberals. I'll start with liberals. So liberals, would you say that Donald Trump lied to his followers? Let me see in the chat what you think. Liberals, do you believe that Trump lied to his people? Now, conservatives, do you believe that Obama and Biden lied to their people? Liberals, do you believe that you would have voted for, okay, I'll just put it for you. Liberals, would you have voted for Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton? And conservatives, would you have voted for anybody that was a strong man other than Trump? It shouldn't be this hard to do this. This should not be this hard to do this. Right? Most of you are saying yes to okay. This should not be difficult. When I say that the voice of America was Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump, that is a correct statement. And you guys, it's been 10 years in the making now. But Donald Trump will be gone soon. 1,050 days, give or take. Donald Trump will be gone. So, I liked Bernie. Yeah, I did. So, Donald Trump will be gone in 1,050 days, give or take. Fair enough? So, what are we going to do to fix this country? Are we going to posture politically? Get violent? Get up in their face? Right? Is that what we're going to do? Is that going to make it work? Or are we going to try another way this time? Are we going to stick our heads out of the toilet? Thank you, cowgirl. Are we going to pull our heads out of the toilet and try another one? Because I got news for you. The conservatives aren't working. The liberals aren't working. The communists and the socialists aren't working. And the neo-fascists aren't working. So can we find something that doesn't suck here? Can we quit playing in the toilet? Because for 20 minutes or for 15 minutes, we just sat there and yelled back and forth about politics. You see how that worked? You see how there was no movement that was made there? No movement was made there. So when I was talking my shit earlier, you saw that, right? Oh, I'll get to my policies. I'll get to my policies. I do once a week or so. I've got them all laid out here. But that's why I was asking you for your policies, because I want to know what I can add to my policies. Now, most of my policies are not foreign policies. This is indica, I think. Don't quote me on that, though. So I'm going to get into my policies real quick, and then we'll get into the news. Is that savvy? Is that fair? So you can see if I'm really the dumb fuck you think I am. Thank you, cowgirl. And I want to know not only if you support my policies or if you hate them, but also I want to know your policies to add. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, my friend. Hell yeah. Damn right, Jimmy. So if you have any additions to what I'm about to say, I want to hear them. I don't care if you are a conservative or a liberal. And you need to quit caring if I am as well. And look at yourself. Look at yourself. Take a look around. People of Sherwood, you've been had, hoodwinked, run amok. We didn't land on Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest landed on us. Now, let's get into my policies, because Malcolm X was right about the white liberal and the conservative. Art thou ready? We are ready. So, I have a 50-point plan for a government. Thank you, cowgirl. And I want to know what you can add, subtract, or change. So let's get started. Point number 1, term limits for our elected officials. That involves the Congress, the Senate, and the Supreme Court, President, all that. Do you like term limits? You like term limits? I like term limits. 8 years maximum and then fuck off. Also term limits for the Supreme Court. Thank you, Karen, because that, I would say 2 terms, 4 years, change it all to 4 years only. Point number 2 is make lobbying illegal. Those are the 2 most important things in our government. Term limits and making lobbying illegal. Lobbying is legalized corruption. Lobbying is legalized corruption. They can't give gifts or give cash, but they give gifts and then they change votes for those said gifts. Lobbying needs to be illegal. Term limits. Point number 3, end the IRS and any tax for anybody under $150,000 a year and make the richest 3,000 people pay the difference. Anybody making under $150,000 a year would be not paying any income tax. The richest 3,000 people would pay the difference. Problem? Point number 4, end property tax. You can't have a house and own it if you still pay property tax. So we need to get rid of property tax. When you have the deed, that's it. That's just servitude. What the fuck? Point number 5, no tax on food. There is tax on food in some states. Why are we taxing food? That's retarded. Let's stop that. Point number 6, health insurance companies would have to accept at least 90% of what doctors' recommendations were for the patient. That way they won't fuck you over and make you have to pay $1 billion trillion for health care. Point number 7, end monopolies nationwide, all of them, Palantir, and the rest of some fucks. Point number 8, uphold the First Amendment, meaning that nothing could be removed unless it was illegal as far as breaking a law. Remember earlier, people were like, I'm reporting you. Yeah, see? Totalitarians. Point number 9 is the introduction of the Second Bill of Rights. And everybody, this is where people call me a socialist. But unfortunately, I'm not a socialist. We're just rich enough to make this go into effect, even though it is considered a progressive policy. Now, the Second Bill of Rights, I will read as follows. What's up, Big? I believe that in the United States, you have a right to a useful and remunerative job. You have the right to earn enough money to provide adequate food and clothing and recreation. You have the right of every farmer to raise and sell his product at a return, which will give him and his family a decent living. You have a right of every businessman, large and small, to trade in an atmosphere free of unfair competition and monopolies. You have the right of every family to possess a decent home. You have the right to adequate medical care and the opportunity to achieve and enjoy good health. You have the right to adequate protection from economic fears of old age, sickness, accident, and unemployment, and the right to a good education. Once again, your taxpayer dollars pay for state education, so why in the fucking holy hell do you need $50,000 for student loans and why is it so expensive. Point number 10, the rich will be forced to invest 70% in America's workforce, meaning that the ultra-wealthy companies would have to hire 70% of their workforce as American citizens. No more taking factories overseas and hiring people overseas. Otherwise, they would have to register as a foreign company. Point number 10 would be the creation of a standards and practices department to report and investigate planned obsolescence and also introduce the right to repair technological devices. Point number 12, and also report scams. Point number 12 would be the incentivization of a 4-day work week, not a 5-day work week, a 4-day work week, because I believe that too many people work too hard. Point number 13 would be the ending of private prisons. Private prisons should not be allowed in the United States. Private prisons, obviously, go against the freedom of the United States. Yeah, that's funny. The top 1% pay 40% of the taxes, but the top 3,000 people possess 95% of the money. So it's a little funny how they're not paying 95% of the taxes when they have 95% of the money. Wouldn't you agree that's a little off, that they're paying 40% of the taxes while having 95% of the money? That a little off? I would think so. Let's continue here. Ending private prisons would return prisons to the state and federal level. And of course, what that would mean, it would de-incentivize people being arrested for profit. You see how that is? In my opinion. Point number 14 would be to decriminalize marijuana, not legalize marijuana, because you can't force states to sell it, but you can force states to not arrest people for it. That goes back to the private prison situation, because people have used marijuana to increase the penalties to fill private jails for years. It's a racket that needs to stop. That's why those two are included together. Point number 15 would be the Veteran Housing Act and the Military Mortgage Reduction Act, which would decrease the price of your house and mortgage rate based on how long you are in the United States military. It would also increase the incentivization of people joining the military, which would be coupled in with a new American Dream Act, but that's a pipe dream right there. Point number 16, harsh animal cruelty laws, meaning up to 25 years in jail for animal cruelty. Absolutely, because fuck that bullshit. The Military Mortgage Reduction Act would put mortgages down to 0.1% over going into career military. Point number 18, secure the border with electronic border and military components. Point number 19 is the creation of desalination plants out on the west coast of the United States to pipe water in to California, Arizona, and try to attempt to add to the Colorado River. Point number 20 would be the Patriot Institution Act, which would be if your company was openly assisting our adversaries, you would not be able to be a company in America. Point number 21, felons should be allowed to vote. Felons should be allowed to vote. Insane zoning laws. Oh, dude, these zoning laws, the state of Indiana just fucked us with zoning laws. There is some shit going on with that. We need more plans put into this, by the way. Felons should be allowed to vote and travel internationally if they're not violent. And felons that have turned their life around deserve to have a gun. Nowhere in the Constitution did I ever hear that you were arrested for drugs at 19 and you're 40 now and you can't have a gun. Never did I hear that. So that's what that is. Point number 22, and this would cost a lot of money. I don't give a fuck. The creation of a nationwide high-speed rail network to connect all of our major cities together with high-speed maglev trains that is similar to China. right? I think that's a fantastic way. It would also give our shitty airlines a run for its money and force them to change policies and directives to be more customer friendly and not profit friendly. Point number, I guess it'd be 23. I got to change the numbers out. Third-party debt collecting should be illegal in the United States. I believe that companies should sue the people directly that don't pay them. Third-party debt collecting is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. Somebody buys $1 million of debt for fucking pennies on the dollar, and it's ridiculous. So the company should sue the person if they owe a debt, not third-party debt collectors. Point number 25 would be the Infrastructure Evolution Act, not the Infrastructure Rebuild Act, the Infrastructure Evolution Act. That means that the roads, when you're built, would be higher grade things. So like using Roman concrete in the road, using a more advanced system of a power grid, increasing your like water and drainage to use things like copper pipes in order to kill bacteria, not using plastic or old lead and shit like that, because as you know, copper kills bacteria. Those types of things to evolve our infrastructure, using luminescent pieces in the concrete in order to glow at night like they do in some Korean roads, where at daytime it absorbs the light and at nighttime it kind of glows a blue when you're driving, so that it's more safer, more safe. That's correct, right? More safe? Safer. I mean, you use both errors. It's safer, so you do that. And you evolve your infrastructure rather than just, they use ash from the volcanic eruptions. That's correct. And the Roman concrete lasts for 100 times longer. So we wouldn't even need crews out there to keep repatching roads. You just replace everything with Roman concrete roads. And 1,500 years from now, it's still fucking there. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's the same with electric infrastructure, water infrastructure. Like I said, adding copper pipes so it eliminates bacteria in the water, so it's a less chance you get sick. It also makes cleaning much easier. You can get rid of fatbergs and shit like that a lot easier out of the pipes. These are the things we need to do to evolve the United States, not sit here and play in the toilet with Democrats and Republicans. You see, that's the thing. As long as we keep fighting back and forth Democrats and Republicans, right, what's going to happen is we're going to be doing that while the ultra wealthy take all your money and we go to war, right? So we're going to sit here, abortion, offensive words. And then while you're sitting there playing in the toilet bowl, fighting with each other, they're taking all your money and prowess and they're putting it into AI and AI data centers to take your jobs away so they can make maximum profit. So while they have you fighting each other and they're doing a good job of it, we're wasting away our country. I urge all of you to quit fighting politically like most of you do with me and start dealing with this fucking shit that's upcoming. AI is going to be the destruction of the world, or at least everything we hold dear. Let's continue here. Credit card interest rates should be capped at 10%, and deadbeats shouldn't get credit if they can't afford it. It's not that hard. Back in the day when credit card interest rates were 9%, they just didn't give it to everybody. You had to have a certain go-ahead financially to get a credit card. Now it's like, oh, you filed bankruptcy 4 times and you have no job. Here's a credit card. And then you wonder why the interest rates are at 30%. Gee, I can tell you why. Because you were fast and loose with credit to people that didn't deserve it. Pull it back. Give it to people that can afford it. What the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Point number 27, redistrict the United States without the influence of illegal aliens. Point number 28, adherence to the Constitution for our government officials. Otherwise, they would suffer criminal charges. Point number 29, any government official. Yeah, Social Security is a fucking whopper, man. We need to talk about that. Because that'll be run dry in 2032. Government stock trading should be illegal. So if you're an elected official and you're in office, it should be illegal for you to buy, sell, or trade stock, period. Period. It'll be a criminal charge if you're doing that. So if you're like, I'm a congressman and I'm trading stock, criminal charges, suck my dick. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're clearly doing insider trading. This is ridiculous. Point number 30, retirement age should be lowered to 60. Hey, if we're going to do AI, then why do I have to work to 72, right? The fuck is that? Everybody in the world wants to go AI. Well, then I don't want to work so long. Fuck you. Right? So retirement age lower to 60 or even lower. Point number 31, go after companies that hired illegal aliens with criminal charges or financial charges. Point number 32, a path for children of illegal aliens to become permanent residents in the United States. This has a double entendre here. So people between the ages of 16 and 24 and younger, if possible, should be able to apply for permanent residency in the United States, because under the age of 18, you don't have the legal ability to apply as a permanent resident. So thank you, my friend. So even though, so like let's say I'm 16 years old and my parents were illegals. What we're doing now is we're arresting everybody and sending them back to wherever. Well, maybe that 16-year-old has been here since they were 2 years old. So that 16-year-old doesn't know anything about El Salvador, for instance. So why are we deporting them to El Salvador? They have a bunch of friends here and they speak English. Well, the parents were illegal. What's that have to do with this kid, right? So between the ages of 16 and 24, you should be able to apply for permanent residency. And this has a double effect, because if you apply for permanent residency, then the illegal alien parents can get sponsorship from their own children. You see how this works, right? And then we won't be able to deport the families like that. So that'll reduce the amount of people that are like 15 years old or whatever that are now being ripped away from their families and friends and sent to Honduras or whatever. They've never been there in their lives, because you have these people that fall through the cracks, right? Yeah, I don't want amnesty for illegal aliens, but I also don't believe that if you were brought here at 2 years old and then they want to deport you at 16, what the fuck do you know about your home country when you've only lived here? That's not only not fair, it's ridiculous. Because now you have somebody that may not even speak Spanish, for instance, pulled out of school at the age of 16, away from their friends in Reseda in California, and sent down to fucking Mexico. They don't speak Spanish, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing down there. So why are they there? You send them from a fucking high school where there's some valley girl down to a cartel wasteland. That's not good. That's detrimental for that kid. And let's say you're 18 years old. Well, let's say you were scared. Well, you should have to be the age of till the age of 24 to be able to apply for permanent residency. Well, why 24? Because that, yes, please, of course. Why age 24? Because the age of 24 is the same age that they remove financial incentives to get student loans from your parents. Okay? So at the age of 25 or 24 past, you have to put in your own finances to get student loans. So that should be the age it cuts off for permanent residency to not go back. The parents, on the other hand, they brought you here illegally. Well, maybe they have to be deported. But if you get to be permanent resident, maybe states will allow you to fucking sponsor your parents. Okay? But we don't have to do what this is here. We can do this other ways. We've been told there's this way or that way. Deport them all or only you stay. I see a third way. I see a third way. I don't see it has to be black or white. We can stop being retarded, right? We know that there's other options than what the media and the government give us. So like if somebody says, here, you have to pick vanilla or chocolate. And I say, I don't want vanilla or chocolate. I want strawberry. You can't pick strawberry, you communist! Well, I don't like vanilla or chocolate. I want strawberry. Ah, you're a heretic! Strawberry! It's like, I don't want to pick vanilla or chocolate. I want strawberry. Oh, you can't do that! Well, why can't I do that? Well, that makes you weird. Great, fuck you, suck my dick. Both you might be bad. Like, okay, so for instance, maybe we're having chorizo and chimichangas. Maybe I don't want vanilla with my fucking chorizo. Maybe I don't want chocolate with my guacamole and fucking spice. All right? Maybe I want something to clean my palate. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's fucking why I want that. Well, it has to be this or that. It doesn't have to be anything. You telling me I have to choose one or the other is you being a fascist. I mean, you got to understand that. You telling me I have to choose one or the other is you being a totalitarian, not me. So I've already seen 2 or 3 people here earlier. Pick a side. You're a totalitarian. You telling me I have to choose a way? Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are telling me what I have to do? You don't command me. This isn't the United States military, nor am I in a totalitarian nation. You don't tell me shit. I do what the fuck I feel is necessary and right, and if you don't like it, there's the door, fuckface. That's what this is, right? Otherwise, if you say, well, you have to. I don't have to do a motherfuck. I don't even have to listen to the laws that this country tells me I have to. And often I don't. As you see, I'm sitting here smoking a joint in an illegal state. You think I give a fuck about what you want me to do? Suck my fucking dick. Because frankly speaking, you ain't me. And I know you aren't. Jealous? I'd be. Anyway, let's move on. Point number 33 and 34 are end the surveillance state and remove the Patriot Act. Remove the Patriot Act. Now, I'm cussing because I'm angry at the political situation, period. That's what it is. So the Patriot Act is legalized surveillance on the American people. Fuck that. And end surveillance. Ending the surveillance state. That means de-incentivizing things like flock cameras or any type of quantum computing, making dossiers on you for the Department of Justice. I understand if some guy's name is Bagayo Bagdasarian that came over here illegally and got caught with a fucking bunch of thermite or a bunch of fucking ammonium nitrate, yeah, he probably needs a profile. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly he's doing something wrong. But little old Gertrude, the housewife, that's 75 years old, that went to church the other day and said she thinks that illegal immigrants should stop. She doesn't need a file. She's not an extremist. Neither is a guy saying, I just don't like white people. Great, you're not an extremist. I may not agree with you. I think you're a racist, but you're not an extremist. You see the difference? So some black dude comes in here and is like, I don't fucking like white people. Great, you're a racist, but I don't think you're going to put a pipe bomb in my fucking car, right? If you say, I'm going to fuck you up and kill, then I think you might be an extremist and a racist. You see, people have to have an expansion of their consciousness and mind. Otherwise, we can't do this as a collective. Right, Zoran Mamdani? Point number 35 is to end Citizens United. If you know what Citizens United is, that's where companies can give unlimited gifts for campaigns. Yeah, I don't want Citizens United. That's ridiculous. Point number 36, clean water and land. Don't focus on carbon so much. Focus on cleaning the water, land, and Superfund sites. If you know what a Superfund site is, you will want to get rid of that. That's a toxic waste dump. All right, we got a lot of them here. Point number 37 would be clean the Pacific and Atlantic garbage patches. All right, we got more to worry about here in this planet than pissing about politics. We have an entire garbage gyre out in the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean in the south. And what is that? A bunch of plastic. Bunch of plastic and garbage that's a big swirl that goes for the size of Texas. So, but I am white. So what we need to do is get container ships with nets and trawl the fucking plastic out of the ocean, right? And then bring it back to America and use that to make plastihol, which is plastic gasoline. That's what we need to do. And that wouldn't make a lot of money. Most of these aren't going to make you money. That's the whole thing. A lot of people are like, well, how are my plans going to make you money? Oh, they're not going to make you money. No, they're going to be spending money for the betterment of the nation. You got to understand, these are not profitable things. There's a couple of things here at the end I'll tell you that are kind of profitable. Most of these are going to lose the nation money in order to uplift it. So you're going to be removing money that would be going to certain, billionaires. You're going to be putting it back into America for the betterment of the people. So the betterment of 2,000 people will be put on hold for the betterment of 330 million people. Yeah, sanctuary cities, that's against the law. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know why that's even a thing. Sanctuary cities are like that's ridiculous. All you have to do is make legal immigration vaster, right? That's all you got to do is say, okay, here's requirements to legally come in here. It was this difficult, now it's this difficult. What's up, SLD? How you doing? And then we'll widen it with more magistrates and more border crossings. You have to de-incentivize illegally crossing, not de-incentivizing coming into America. You see what I'm saying? So, for instance, when everybody was coming to Ellis Island, the de-incentivization to come here was for sick people. You would be quarantined or sent back. There was no restriction on the amount of people. It was de-incentivizing sick and sick people, incompetent people, or criminals. That's the question. That's really what we need. I don't give a fuck if a third of Mexico moves here. I don't want your stupid, your violent, or your people with vitriol here. You see what I'm saying? It is? Yeah, it is. So, if you're coming from Mexico and a third of Mexico wants to move to America, I don't care, but I don't want your criminals here. I don't want your child molesters here. I don't want your thieves, killers, people that might say, I'm a racist and I hate white people. I don't really want you here. You see? So I want people that are correct. So if you say, well, what about Australians? It's the same. Well, they're white. I know. Did I fucking stutter, retard? I don't want your criminals. I don't want your child molesters. I don't want your mentally fucked up. I don't care if you're Australian or Japanese or Canadian, South African or Rwandan. Right? You're all equal. If you want to be equal, we'll say, hey, if you're a criminal, fuck off back to your country. If you're not a criminal, come on in. Just like that. Yeah, it's just like that. It's not difficult. I mean, this is not rocket science here. You know what I'm saying? Well, what if you have 10 times the people coming in? Well, then it looks like you'll need 10 times the magistrates. A lot of you fuckfaces went to law school. Let's get going. Right? You guys all went to law school, right? I'm a lawyer. Well, now you can be a judge down in New Mexico. You can start bringing people over. And you can make determinations now. There you go. Got you a job. How's that sound? You don't have to get a law firm and a partner. We'll just make you a magistrate down in some shitbox Arizona county. What do you think? You can get a fucking nice house, some land, nice Range Rover, get you a fat wife to fuck. There you go. Everything's fine, right? Another arm and dick of the justice system. There you go. There's more lawyers here in America than we can shake a stick at. Well, let's put them to use. Let's make you immigration judges. Come on. Let's go, bitch. Come on. You can make a law firm right off that. You can make $1 million. Well, yeah, put your money where your mouth is. You're out there protecting the protesters. Yeah, and then what do? Well, then we tax the illegal aliens, because guess what? They're not illegal anymore. Hey, now they're getting taxed. Suck my dick. That can pay for the high-speed rail, can't it? Hey, they can build it too. I'll work with them. You got to quit breaking people down by gender and race. That's the only way you're going to move forward. And everybody calls me a fucking racist Nazi. What the fuck is wrong with people? Jesus Christ. Oh, I guess I'm not wanting to kill people because they're Trump supporters, right? Is that the line right there? I have to be willing to kill for my beliefs. I'm not going to. Absolutely not. No. We have to be better than that. We have to live in a Star Trek society, not retard dumb fuck society that we currently keep dry humping. I know we keep wanting to go back to 1964, but it wasn't really good then and it ain't good now. So let's evolve and quit sucking that dick There we go. What's up? What's up, war? So let's continue. Point number 38. Make any weather modification illegal except for very small exceptions like cloud seeding in deserts and things like that. Point number 39. Common sense abortion laws. I might lose some of you on this. I hope I don't. Abortion should be legal for incest, rape, and the life of the mother. That's where I'll start. 1, do you believe you should have to raise an incest baby? No. Do you believe you should have to be forced to raise a baby that came because you were raped? No. And should you have to raise a baby when the life of the mother is at stake so the baby kills you? Right? So let me just put it to you that way. You okay? I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with rape or incest babies. 1, because of incest, I'm an anthropologist. So I know what happens with incest. You have a bunch of fucking dumb fucks that come later on. It's called inbreeding. And the more of that you do, the dumber the fucking general population gets. If you have a lot of inbreeding, everybody's a violent dumb fuck. Yeah, absolutely. That's why you don't fuck your cousins or your sisters or brothers. Great, wonderful. Trump's a pedophile. I'm not talking about Trump. We'll get into that later. I'm talking about my plans. Now, if you have any plans to add, please let me know. I'd like to put this in here. But yes, I don't believe incest children. If you want to abort that, that's fine. If a man rapes you and you get pregnant, I don't think you should. That's like the worst trauma, right? That's like the worst trauma. That's ridiculous. And if the life of the mother is at stake, like my wife has had 2 DNCs. So that was blighted ovums right there. And that would never have been a child. However, it could have killed my wife. And so in certain states, you can't get that aborted. Well, here we did twice. I had 1 kid with her and 2 didn't take. I had a kid with an ex. I've got 2 kids. Those are miscarriages, exactly. And then, of course, I would say probably 60. I would say make a decision on if you're going to abort the kid within 60 days. Let's have a brain here. And then the morning after pill should be legal, because if you fuck a fatty and you, or like a fat slob, and then you don't want to have his kid, you should be able to abort it with the morning after pill. Other than that, though, that should be enough right there. Otherwise, you're not being very responsible. Well, I know I waited to 6 months. Well, you waited too long, okay? Make a decision. This isn't difficult, right? 60 days plus all these other incentives here. If you can't make a decision in 60 days, you're kind of a dummy, okay? Well, I just kept being on again, off again. I didn't know. Well, that's called decision making, and that's what being an adult's all about. So make that your first decision right there, and then we'll move on. Well, maybe I won't. I'll feel bad. I bet you will. Well, I wish I would have aborted the kid. Okay, well then if you regret it, then adopt it out later. We'll put that up too. It's not difficult here. What's up, Mabel Cat? I'm reading my government, Mabel Cat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should totally know in 60 days, especially if you have all these other incentives. So, like, I don't understand why this is very difficult for, like, a lot of people to put their head around. And you tell people, we should have abortion to 9 months. I'm like, well, that's really fucking weird. Thank you, Nana. Abortion to 9 months? That's really fucking, like, creepy shit. What's up, B Vance? I mean, am I right? So, like, if somebody's like, well, I went 8.5 months and then I aborted the kid. Oh, hell yeah. Thank you, Sonny. And it's like, no, 8.5 months. That's like you're a ghoul if you kill a kid. That's fucking weird. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Mabel Cat. Oh, I had people attacking me at the beginning of this like I was some Adolf Hitler wannabe. I'm like, what the fuck? And I know it's Saturday, so there's probably a lot of drunks on here. So let's move on. Point number 40, government investment into small business rather than bailouts for large business. So wouldn't it be so much better if the government bailed out small business rather than giant corporations that could afford the loss? So I don't know how old any of you guys are, but when George Bush was president, they bailed out all these shitty major companies that were fucking horrible. And we spent $800 billion bailing out banks, housing companies, stock trading companies. It was fucking horrible. While all these small businesses went out of business. Wouldn't it be so much better to bail out the small businesses and just let the big corporations do what they do? And if they go out of business, it's almost like the more money you have, you should be able to take care of yourself. So let's say you're a company and you run like a clothing company in Main Street somewhere in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And the COVID almost sent you out of business, right? Well, that sucks. So let's give a bunch of money to Levi's so they don't go out of business. But Levi's makes all their products in China out of garbage materials. That's hitting America two ways. Why don't we give the money? Thank you, Albania. Why don't we give that money to a small corporate company that's probably going to do better and let them live, and then Levi's can still take the hit, right? So now we don't lose the small business, and also the major business stays afloat. Well, they might lose 10% profit. I don't really care. Fuck your 10%. That 10% brought to a small business. Imagine what America would have been like. So let's just put this into perspective. Let's say George W. Bush, instead of bailing out major corporations, let them absorb and take the hit, and those bailouts went to small companies. Let's say during the Rona, big major corporations never got loans. Or I should not even loans, just money, because they never paid it back. And all the businesses that were about to go out of business, they got loans to stay afloat. So you would have video stores still, like Family Video, that would still be around. Great deal of your restaurants that went out of business would still be around. A lot of your main streets throughout rural and middle America would still be thriving if that was the way to do business. You would not have had firms go under, farms go under during coronavirus if they would have bailed out small business instead of large business. You see how that works? There is still a Shoney's, believe it or not, down in Tennessee, if I recall. And so that's a big issue, because that's another thing. And liberals should agree with me on this. That's the thing I don't understand, why liberals hate me so much. 2/3 of this is your policies. But because I don't like the other third, you want me dead. Like, fuck you. Like 2/3 of these policies I'm reading to you are liberal leaning. But because I have a third conservative policies, you call me a Nazi. You're just deranged. You have to learn to compromise. You have to understand that. You have to learn to stop closing your ears and talking, closing your ears and being violent. You also have to listen too. I know you don't like what conservatives have to say. I don't like what most conservatives or liberals have to say. But when I'm not talking on here, I'm listening to what's going on in the world, because I want to hear more than I want to spout. When I talk to you on social media, that's a whole day of listening coming out at one time. You see how that works? And that's what it is. But you have to learn to compromise. Otherwise, you don't have a nation. And you can see what we're having here. You have liberal protesters throwing bombs at Jake Lang and White Rabbit from TikTok because you hate each other so much. So Jake Lang is a Nazi, and other people are pretending to fuck goats, mocking Islam. So their supporters throws a bomb at the other one. First of all, nobody should be doing any of that. You shouldn't be throwing a bomb at anybody. You shouldn't be calling for people to die either. Both of you are incorrect in your actions. Yes, and I'm confident in saying that. You ever see that meme where there's one guy standing there and there's a whole crowd yelling at him and it says, yes, you're all wrong? That's real. That is real. And every time I come on here and I get attacked at the beginning of the streams, like always, I always say the same thing. Have fun killing each other in your civil war because I'm not going to be involved. I'm going to be sitting on the sidelines waiting until all the dumbest people are dead, and then we're going to move in order to create a government without the dumbest people. Well, who's the dumbest people? The ones that were dumb enough to kill each other in a civil war over politics they can't control. So you see how that works? So once all those dumb fucks are dead, then all of a sudden we'll be able to run an actual government. But we have to have the vitriol because Star Trek societies don't work with Democrats and Republicans. It just doesn't. And I don't understand why everybody is still a Democrat or a Republican. I really don't understand it. I'm 43 years old. I've seen this back and forth more times than I can count. And I'm wondering why you're still liberal or conservative, Democrat or Republican. Like, how did this happen? What's up, Luca? How did you still remain Republican or Democrat? How? How can you do that? How can you confidently say the Democrats or the Republicans are beneficial for America? How can any, and then fight somebody that doesn't believe your retarded ideology? How is that? It's not all that there is. That's the thing. It's not all that there is. If we just would put our fucking dick in the game, we can make new political parties. There was the Whig Party. There was the Republican Democrats at one point. There was the dumbass racist down in Alabama where the guy got shot. George McGovern, whatever that dipshit was named. But and there's the horrible Libertarian Party that's not really libertarian. There's got to be a better alternative. And we keep telling ourselves the same things. Well, that we have to choose right or left. No, we don't. We don't have to choose right or left. We can do whatever the fuck we want because we're adults. You see, it's like there are laws and there are rules. You understand the difference? We have to follow the laws. I don't have to follow a rule. So like if a homeowners association says, well, I'm going to fine you if you put this flag up, and I do it anyway. Well, I'm going to fine you, and I rip it up and throw it in the garbage. There's not, like, that's a rule, but I don't, like, if I follow it, if I don't follow it, there's not really a consequence for my actions. It's like speeding in a neighborhood where they put a 13-mile-an-hour speed limit in it. Right? That's not an actual speed limit. The speed limit is 30 when it's not listed. Well, they listed it as 13, but they're not an authority figure. They just put that there, so you'll drive slow. You can still legally do 30. That's just a suggestion. Most rules are. So when they say, well, it has to be a Democrat or Republican, it doesn't. That's not a law. That's just a fucking base rule that you can just step around. It's like somebody and they put don't step on the grass and you hop over the thing and you're like, wow, that was easy. Or no private beach. And you're like, well, here I am walking on the private beach. What's up, Andrew? You can't do that. Well, I did. Fuck you. Well, it's my private beach. Yes, but the law says you can't do that. So I can sit here with my chair and my joint, with my feet up, middle finger in the air, smoking a fucking blunt on the beach, and you can sit there and call the cops. You can jerk off my direction, and you still won't remove me because legally I can sit here with my in a Speedo twerking in your general direction because that's just your rule. It's my law, though, that I don't have to do that. I won't be arrested. If I'm in California, you won't be arrested, and in most other states. There's no private beaches in some states. So it doesn't matter if a billionaire owns the property or a fucking trailer person on the beach. No, in California, you could do whatever. That actually was a case. There was a case in Laguna Beach. It was either Laguna Beach or it was San Juan Capistrano. And so the person that owned the property on the beach took 2 strings and ran it all the way to the water and said, no one can sit here. And people were like, fuck you. And they just stepped over it and fucking put their shit down. So the person put property markers all the way out to the ocean, and people just said, suck my dick, and started sitting there. So she called the cops on him, and the police arrived, and the cops didn't even go to the people that were on the beach. The cops went to her property and said, you put these markers out here, that's against the law. They said, you have to remove them or you'll be fined $25,000 a day for putting markers saying that you can't trespass on property that's not yours. Well, that's my property. It's like, no, it's your property up to here, a certain point. The rest of it is by law open access to the general public. You say, well, no, that's my property. It's like, well, no, even if you did buy it, at one point they have made a law since that negates that. Thank you, PETA. And so she removed those and then marked it with around where her property was. And it's like, I understand if you do that, you're in the wrong place, you're going to jail. Well, what state were you in? Because this is California and I'm talking about. And I'm talking about a great deal of states in America, right? Not every state has the same law. That's what determines the difference between a nation and a state. If the United States said, we have a federal law against that, that's one thing. If California says that's a law, then that's one thing. But if Oregon doesn't, then I don't know what to tell you. That's called states' rights. And that's what they do. And so I'm telling you that the state of California and various other states removed the private property aspect out to the ocean front, meaning you can own it to a certain point, but within X number of feet, it's called general property for the public. That's what it is. That's the reality. We can dance around the dick suck all day, but in reality, that's what happened, and that's what we're talking about. That's why people can lay in front of a beach in some rich-ass person's house. Now, if it's government property, that's a different story. If it's government property, you can be arrested for trespassing. Yes, you're not allowed to fucking lay on a beach that's owned if they're doing missile testing, or if it's a fucking tank range, or if they're using the island as fucking target practice. Yes, you'll be arrested for that. That's how shit works. Yes. I still love California and New York, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Anyway, let's continue. Point number 41, a school security force, national school security force. This would be that veterans that are vetted and retired police officers would work school security and be armed to protect against school shooters. Why? Because do you have a better idea? We'll make guns illegal. Yeah, that'll stop it. Yeah, that'll stop it. Make guns illegal. That'll stop it. As every other fuckface that has a felony in this country has a Glock switch in Chicago. So I don't want to hear that bullshit. Well, we made a law against it. Once again, there's that invisible line again that can just be walked over. We made assault rifles illegal. Great, then why does this gang member have an AK-47? Oh, well, he broke the law. That doesn't negate the fact that he has it. Right? So if he shoots a button, if we don't sell them, the enemy will. That's correct. And if we don't get them from one place, we'll get them from another. And if it's not here or the cartels, it'll be Israel. And if it's not Israel, it'll be the Russian government. And if it's not them, it'll be the Chinese. I've had a Chinese SKS. Well, how did I get a Chinese SKS? Don't ask me. I don't know how the fuck it got from a Chinese manufacturer here to the United States, but I shot 480 rounds out of it at one point. So you tell the fuck me how I got that. Somehow I possessed a gun that was made in a fucking Chinese nation. It's called gun running. It's called fucking arms dealing. That's what they do. That's beyond your purview. We need to stop that. Yes, but you're not going to. You're not the president. You're not arms dealers. You don't have that luxury, and neither do I, and neither does anybody else in this world. You ever seen Lord of War? They come after the guy, and then they arrest him, and then he gets fucking let out of jail, and they pay him? I mean, dude, come on. This is what I'm trying to tell people, is like, there are certain factors out here that you don't have power for. So, for instance, you guys are all hating on Donald Trump. Some things rightly so. But Donald Trump is basically a figurehead that can start a war, right? Most of the power here in America comes from the Supreme Court and the judiciary. That's where the big amounts of power. It was a great movie, wasn't it? I love that movie. But most of the power here in America comes from the judiciary. Right? So when you look at like, well, what about our Congress and Senate? Well, the Senate has more power than Congress overall. But at the same time, they have a middle of the road power. Same with the president. He can pass executive orders, but they have to be ratified by Congress anyway. So what about the Supreme Court? Well, they really tell you what can and can't be done, don't they? So the president or Congress will make up whatever fucking law they want. And as long as somebody bitches and complains about it, the Supreme Court votes on it, and that's what you're doing. Right? So, I mean, think about it. So think about it, like Donald Trump. We're doing all these tariffs, and you had Republicans and Democrats bitching for a year about tariffs. So what did the Supreme Court say? Can't do that. Well, what are you going to do? Do another thing? Do another thing? There is no other thing. They said you can't do that. Well, no, you won't do anything. So who really holds the power here? The Supreme Court. That's damn right, Mabel Cat. And if we had term limits in the Supreme Court, it would make America a lot better. And so that's who holds the power in the United States, is the federal judiciary and the Supreme Court. That's where 75% of your decision making comes in. You can sit there and have ideas all day. The president has ideas, they write it down, they send it to Congress, they vote on that idea, Senate votes on that idea, they try to implement it, Supreme Court says, nope, you're not doing it. Well, Supreme Court said that idea was not worthy of being a functional idea, so suck my dick. That's it. Now that idea is nothing. Now it's just gone. So, that's real. That's the real of it. That's what we're doing here. So the president is just a figurehead that can start war. Well, that sounds pretty strong. The Supreme Court could stop him. You understand that, right? Like, you understand, like, they took the fucking thing to Congress and they said, well, we're going to vote on his War Powers Act. The Supreme Court could just stop Trump's war. That's how this works. That's how this works. That's who runs your nation. Once you look at it from that perspective, you quit giving a fuck about Trump or any other dumbass bullshit like that, because you know you're just playing in the toilet once again if you're not attacking the real problem, which is the appointed federal judiciary. And it's the same at the state level. You can have any law passed by your state, but if the state judiciary says, fuck you, you're not doing it. So it doesn't matter if you make weed illegal or legalize it. If the court tells you no, you're not doing it. Doesn't matter if Trump wants to make gay marriage legal or illegal. The Supreme Court says yes or no. That's it. Doesn't matter if you want guns or not. The Supreme Court says yes or no. So the Supreme Court's your daddy. Well, I don't want that to be so. I know you don't. I don't want it to be so either. But that's the realities you're living in right now. 9 people determine your life on almost every aspect. And you can basically do anything in America. It becomes the Wild West until they make an opinion on it. They're mad at Trump because of him going to war when he said he wasn't going to be a war president. And they're mad at Trump because they think he fucked kids in the Epstein files. Those are the two reasons why they're mad at Trump. Any question? I mean, really. They also believe that the American population has not had lower prices. And actually, as a matter of fact, 2 days ago, Donald Trump came out and said, well, we need to worry about America for now. We need to worry about America. So Donald Trump finally, 13 fucking months after being elected president, finally said, we need to worry about our people here. Gee, you fucking think? Would have been nice to have that happen 13 months ago when we elected you. Wouldn't that have been fun? But it didn't happen that way. So, as it never does. Point number 42, we should be given a digital bill of rights. You can look up some examples online. Point number 43 would be making pharmaceutical ads illegal on television. Pharmaceutical ads should be illegal on television. Focus your money on research and development, not marketing. What the fuck are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Point number 44, reduce the necessity of credit scores to buy a home or get a car. Point number 45, no more frivolous lawsuits. That would be the creation of a national frequent flyer lawsuit database. We would have a better name for it, but it would basically make a database of everybody that files frivolous lawsuits, so that the person filing the frivolous lawsuit has to go before an appellate court before they're allowed to make the lawsuit. So, you're damn right. That was one of my points, Meep. Get rid of the Patriot Act. So, for instance, if you are an ambulance chaser, take it easy, Allie. If you're an ambulance chasing lawyer and you lose 12 cases, and then you file a 13th for the same one, or however many would be the threshold, it will trigger the frequent flyer lawsuit appeal, and you would have to come before a judge and explain why you should sue somebody. So, like, let's say you put 7 protective orders out on people, you would have to explain to an appeals judge why you have to put a protective order, because 7's a little bit suspicious, don't you think? And then if they find out that you're just making it all up, then they'll review the other protective orders and remove those, because you are lying your fucking ass off. You see how that works? And so that would be the creation of a frequent flyer lawsuit database. And what that would do would be reduce the burden on the courts here in the United States quite a bit, actually. That would probably remove about half the burden on courts here in the United States. And it would also be able to weed out people that are gaming the justice system for their own financial gain and advantage. What's up, Katie Woods? So that's why you need something like that, because you can't have a real free country or proper country if you just have people taking advantage. It'll also stop frivolous lawsuits for like copyright and offensive language and all this dumbass bullshit. Point number 46 would be to remove supplemental fluoride from the water. Supplemental fluoride. There's always a little bit of fluoride in water, but supplemental, meaning added fluoride. We want to get rid of that out of the water for multiple reasons. Point number 47 would be to remove cancer-causing chemicals from the food and cancer-causing dyes. I'd like to make our food have a standard of like England or France when it comes to the ingredients. It would also reduce sickness and obesity. What's up, Ziggy? Point number 48 would be to lower the use of pesticides by 75% and also support a non-immunity law. They're trying to make an immunity law right now so that you can't sue pesticide companies. I would do the exact opposite and create an easier process to sue pesticide companies that made you sick and gave you lymphoma. because a lot of those pesticides could give you cancer. So that's that. Point number 49, and people here on YouTube will like this: common sense copyright laws. So no more laws were 99 years past the date of the creator. So right now the copyright law says you have section 107 of fair use, and then the copyright law says you can't use any work until 99 years after the creator of the work dies. That is fucking retarded. For instance, when you're live streaming, why can't you play music in the background on YouTube? It's fucking crazy, right? It's like you have to understand the difference between somebody purposely stealing. So like if I steal a movie and I put it on YouTube and I say I made a movie, or I just keep the whole movie, yeah, go for it. Sue somebody for that. But if you have background music of Motley Crue, or if you have 10 seconds of footage from something, fuck you. That is like, are you out of your fucking mind going after somebody for 10 seconds of footage? Go fuck yourself, you fucking douchebag loser. Then on top of that, let's say a show has, let's say you have like Ren and Stimpy, hasn't been shown on television for 30 years. But then if you put up a 1-minute clip, all of a sudden they'll sue you. Well, you're not putting it out there. So there needs to be something saying that the general public should have access to use small clips of footage if you're not going to use it. Because making something 30 years ago and then keeping it off, but then you wanting money for it, fuck you, you fucking douchebag. That's ridiculous. And number 50, and quite possibly the most important except for the first two, is a national referendum voting plan. That would be where the citizens get to have their voice, and every citizen in America would vote on important topics that our government would be forced to vote on. And if they voted against the will of the people, we would put them in jail. So let's say we wanted to decriminalize weed and 72% of America said do it, and then Congress voted against it, then you would have to single out the congressmen that voted against it for investigations and possible criminal charges. Excelsior! And that's my government. That's what I've got so far. So, if you thought I was some Nazi or whatever, I hope you didn't think it was that bad. That's what it was. That's my government. If you have any other things to add, let me know. And so basically, the guy that was definitely douchebag, so he was a Nazi.
He actually called you a douchebag.
Oh, he called me a douchebag? Good job, retard. Hey, everybody, this douchebag's got it. Really? So the guy was so retarded, he called me a douchebag. So he can't even spell, but he's a Nazi. Great. So the guy's attitude that was here was basically a Nazi. So wonderful. Jesus fucking God almighty. So I hope that makes, So I hope that makes some incentive for you to believe that I'm not a goddamn fucking fascist. You fucking retards. Now, let's move on with the news. Because I'm sick of being labeled something I'm not. Simply because I supported Donald Trump at one point in my career. I don't want to hear the dick sucker fucking politics that I'm supposed to follow. I don't want to follow anything you tell me to because I don't have to, because I'm an adult and I can do whatever I want. That's correct. Because if otherwise, I would be a slave to whoever told me to do whatever and what for, and I'm not going to do that. I don't listen to anybody except my own mind unless it's, hey, your pants are on fire or something like that that's necessary to make, moves with. Otherwise, it's dangerous. So if somebody throws dynamite under my ass, that's one thing. Anyway, so let's move on. Let's talk about the news today. This is the news. This is not my opinion. These are the news I'm reading. So if you believe it's my opinion, first we'll start with the Drudge Report, then we'll move on to the London Daily Mail, the Associated Press, and Reuters. Eventually we'll get into Russia Today and the fringe news. But let's hold on to your seats. Why Drudge Report? Because it's a news aggregate site. Why not Breitbart? Because it's a one-sided news aggregate site. So, loud bang reported near the U.S. Embassy in Norway. No reports of a bomb or injuries. However, many people are frazzled. Oh no. Leaked intel warns of an Iranian disaster, saying that Trump's Iran war is going to be a disaster, and says that the regime may not be removed. I want to know your thoughts on this. Damn right. They need to go to a damn Leering Center. But everybody has a talking point now. That's why I can't wait till the Civil War so I can sit back and smoke blunts the whole time. And then when it's over, me and people like you can go and fucking take this government back over again. Anyway, a leaked classified document from the National Intelligence Council has shared an unfavorable light on Donald Trump's strikes on Iran, warning that the military involvement could be disastrous. Damn right, Matcha for the win. Hell yeah, my friend. In just 1 week, tensions have dramatically risen in the region, starting with a joint military operation conducted by the United States and Israel against Iran. The strikes took out Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei as Iran retaliates by targeting U.S. military bases in the Gulf Cooperation Council. Trump has stood firm on his military attack, but a report completed by the NIC just a week before raised doubts about the U.S.'s ability to overthrow the regime. Well, it looks like those doubts were wrong because the guy is dead. Definitely free Iran. By the way, as always, I got my new Iranian flag right here, ready to go. Because once the new government is installed, we will be flying that flag. And I would love to go to a free Iran rally because this is the real Iran. Fuck the Ayatollah Khamenei. Suck my fucking dick. That's what we got going on here. So we're just waiting, aching to break that out. 3 people familiar with the findings told the Washington Post that Iran would likely respond to Khamenei's death by following protocols to preserve the regime. Sources say it was unlikely that Iran's opposition would seize control. Now, you see, that's definitely, hell yeah, you damn right, man. My wife got it for me because I was like, that's what we need right there. For my birthday. By the way, my birthday's in 3 days. Oh, isn't that fun? Khamenei's successor has yet to be named. Hopefully it'll be anybody else but a Khamenei or an IRGC piece of shit. Iran's assembly of experts and high-ranking members were also blown up. Oh, what a shame. A bunch of clerics got blown up. Darn it. It's from the London Daily Mail. I don't know if it's really propaganda. I bet your mom was over here sucking this dick, though. That's some propaganda. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You want to see some propaganda? The only propaganda coming out is from the IRGC and the Iranian government. So I don't understand how hard this is to do. When I see people supporting Ayatollah Khamenei, you know he killed 60,000 civilians, right? You know they raped girls to death, right? So what the fuck is wrong with you? That's like saying, I can't believe I don't support Idi Amin. It's like, are you okay over there? You all right, bro? Like, of course I don't support Idi Amin or Pol Pot. Why do you support these people? Like, why would you support Ayatollah Khamenei or the IRGC? These people are murderous pieces of shit. They kill people. They rape women for fun. They rape women specifically if they're Muslims so they won't go to heaven. That's what the original Ayatollah Khamenei said. These are the same people that say that you have to have fun, that women are cattle. That's what these same pieces of shit say. Thank you, Ahmed. And then you want me to support these assholes? I'm not going to support the IRGC. Fuck the IRGC. And fuck Ayatollah Khamenei while he's roasting in hell. Can't wait. Glad he is. Khamenei, yeah, he probably wasn't, was he? See, that's the thing is Iran is not a goddamn Muslim. Even if you are Islamic, Iran's history is not a Muslim nation. It's not a radical. It's Persian. Oh, let's smoke one. Iran's Persia. It's an empire. They're not fucking Arab. They're not like there's Persians that are whiter than me. He was from the UK, figures. No wonder the English love him so much. You know what I'm saying? No, there's no faking it till you make it. I mean, there are Persians that have red hair. They're whiter than I am. Right? Like, I don't know what the fuck you think this is. This is older than Islam. So, well, Persia's Islam. No, it's not. They're Zoroastrians, first of all. Second of all, that is an occupation force. Like, we're looking at like Xerxes and Cyrus the Great, right? That fuck Islam. You scissor me, Xerxes. Oh my God. It was Xerxes because they were Persians buying the Lesbos bar. Oh, South Park. Oh my God. But yeah, we're looking at a full-fledged empire. The Persians and the Athenians were in war before Muhammad's fucking 10 generations didn't even nut first. Right? You see what I'm saying here? So Iran, like, I don't want you to get this twisted. It's like, well, the Khomeini Ayatollah has the right to be there. No, they don't. They're an occupation force. They don't have the right to be there. Fuck Ayatollah. Fuck Islam in Persia. Even if you are Muslim, there doesn't have to be a secular government. Thank you, Mabel Cat. It's an occupied nation in my opinion. And others, exactly. The Islamic and even Islam now that's spreading is not Islam back in the day. It's not like Afghanistan back in the 60s. That was Islamic too, but girls still wore skirts. Right? Same with Iran. There was Islam there too. Same with India. Right? Same with Syria. Same with Beirut. Beirut was a Muslim country mixed with Christians, but girls were still in bikinis in the 60s on the beach. What you got was a radical ideology of a near Iron Age religion that is trash. You didn't even get Islam. What you got was a caliphate. What you got is what ISIS wants. All right? And that's where, well, women can't show their hair. And you're like, okay, well, I don't want to wear a burqa. And then the response from people in Iran, or response from the government is, well, nuns wear a habit. It's like, but not regular people. You understand that? Regular people don't wear fucking headscarves in goddamn America or in Western nations. Religious fervors wear that. So saying that that would be like saying every woman in America has to dress like a nun. What are you, out of your fucking mind? That's fucking ridiculous. Well, nuns have to wear what? Well, because that's a stupid argument. That's like saying, every diver has to wear scuba gear. So I'm mandating that my whole population that's female wear scuba gear. It's like, but I don't dive. I live in the desert. You still have to wear scuba gear. Well, I don't want to wear scuba gear. I live in the fucking desert. Well, we're mandating it or we'll kill you. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? What's up, America? So that's another thing. What happened to female personal choice? Then you have the liberals in America saying, we want the Islamic Republic to continue. So you have liberal white women fighting for feminism, but fighting to keep women oppressed at the same time. So liberal white women, you're fighting to remove oppression in America, and you're fighting to keep Iran so those women will be oppressed. I don't understand how you can disassociate what that is. That's insane and crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, why can't it make sense? I understand living in two different worlds, being able to do this and that, but that's not doing this and that. Those are two opposite things. that aren't just opposite, right? These are like breathing underwater, or, you know, taking my helmet off in space and saying it's good. This isn't like saying I want to be a little Democrat and a little Republican, which is, you can do that. These are things that are totally impossible to ever make work ever in life. They can't fuse together. Like women's freedom to wear a bikini in radical Islam. Those don't, yeah, scuba diver in Death Valley. The Islamic regime is just fucked up. And this is why it needs to be removed. So I have called for Donald Trump to free Iran on TikTok. Before my account was removed, I had 330,000 followers. That account was removed because I was telling people to fight for Iran. And then I made another account. It's got 57,000 or whatever now. I'm still telling people to fight for Iran. Scuba Steve. And I'll do that on here. And I'm not going to stop because the Iranian government is not the same as, like, for instance, this is not like Gaza, okay? Gaza was a group of people that came in and murdered and raped a bunch of civilians. Then the Israeli government attacked and killed everything that didn't move. That's not what this is. We're not trying to turn your country into beaded glass. Benjamin Netanyahu said, destroy everything in Gaza. And they did it. Well, I don't understand. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not like that war you ordered? Sorry, I don't get why you didn't like that. There's a difference. We're not trying to turn Iran into beaded glass. We want to destroy their military so you can rise up and take your country back. We don't want you. We don't want to destroy your nation. We don't want to kill people, even though we did blow up a school, or Iran blew up a school. I'm not sure which. If they did it and a missile fell on them, or if one of our errant bombs killed a bunch of those poor people. Right? And that's what sucks. But it's now getting to the point where we're destroying these pile of shit IRGCs, and we need to start seeing some protesting in Iran, and we need to start liberal life, because it is, exactly. Because they're both on a certain spectrum, but you know the difference. If anybody's ever been to political science class, or anybody knows what the political compass is, we already know that this is a sham. Only the people that don't know what the political compass is, they bitch and moan about politics. The rest of you that have a brain, you know the difference. Because you know left and right and totalitarian and libertarian. You know it's not just 4 or 2 angles, it's 4 angles, minimum. Anyway, so the leaked intel says that the regime, that we will have a disaster, and that they doubt that the regime will fall. However, that was a week ago. So the leaked document saying that the Iranian government will not fall was a week before we started attacking. This is an indica, but I'm not sure. Here, let me see real quick. Hold on, I'm getting it. But now that we've had such success, it's looking like their government will fall. This is Sherb. This is Sherb cream pie. Sherb cream pie. So that's what we got here. We got an ounce ready to roll. 32.03%. And then we also have some bubble hash and some keef that we've been adding to this tonight. My wife's been going through the bubble hash quite a bit tonight. Honey, got that bubble hash feeling going on. Very nice. And so that's what we're doing, right? Yeah, and we also have to talk about the, oh, nice, lemon cake. Very good, 33%. We did have some 55 and 60%, and of course we got the dab pens and shit like that. But those are, you know how it is. Marine, holy shit. Anyway, one of the things that has happened to the United States and I will be making a video about this on TikTok, is Iran is hitting the radar systems that underpin the United States missile defense. So this is a report from the Wall Street Journal saying that Tehran has been targeting American missile defense radar systems. sparking fears that I love purple strength. Anything purple, Chance is the way to do it, man. Purple and blue, but purple is my favorite. Any kind of purple where it gets that deep, almost black color. Absolutely. Oh, it is so, oh my God. Oh, we need more of that. Iran is targeting the radar systems. Thank you, FF. Hell yeah, free Iran. Damn straight. Free Iran, and it will happen. So the Iranian government is targeting the radar systems that serve as the eyes of the air defense in the Middle East, hitting several in recent days and degrading the ability of the United States and its allies to track incoming missiles. What's up, UK? What's up, Mark? How you going across the pond, mate? Damn right, free Iran. That's right. I love England. It's a shame Keir Starmer's in charge. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss over there with that. People don't have to go full Nigel Farage, but I'm sorry for your loss. How are you, my great patriot? Oh, I'm awesome. How are you? I'll tell you what, I want to go to England so bad. I was looking at prices to fly to Europe. Holy shit. Ever since the Iranian war started, it is 3 times the cost all of a sudden. So my kids have, me and my wife and both my kids have passports. So, like, I've been to Italy, I've been to Canada multiple times, been to the Caymans, lived in Australia, been to New Zealand, but I've never come to the crux of the Commonwealth. And that's exactly where I'm trying to get to. And now with this Iranian war going on, it looks like travel prices are so high. We can go to Panama, though. I was looking into that. Anybody ever been to Panama? Hell yeah, free Iran. I heard they have little monkeys. And they're so cute. Anyway, so the Iranian strikes are in retaliation for the U.S. bombing campaign that have hit radar communications, air defense in Qatar, UAE, Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia. According to U.S. officials, military analysts, and commercially available satellite images. The strikes are often carried out by Iran's one-way attack drones, such as its Shaheeds, which are a fraction of the cost of the missiles that are sophisticated. The U.S. systems were designed to defend against. Iran has fired fewer missiles in recent days. That is true. Yeah, Italy is nice, man. Marine, I like Italy. Overall, so according to the United States, quote, overall, our defenses are doing quite well. That said, go to Snowdonia National Park in Wales. Good old Wales, man. I sat next to a girl from Wales when I was flying to Australia. How about that town? We could either go to Cardiff or we could go to that town named the one that's got like 600 letters. That's a Welsh town. Holy shit. But yeah, I will say that Cardiff's government seems a little, you know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, mate. So it's clear that the government of Iran is attacking the United States communications. Of course, that's obviously the most important part to strike of the United States, because any type of surveillance or communications or any comms or any whatsoever, our eyes in the sky are the most important part to subduing Iran's conventional warfare. So the reason we're able to operate with impunity over Iran is because of our communications and radar systems and our high-tech systems that are going on. Japan, I would love to go to Japan. And if we lose our eyes in the sky, if we lose our ability to track missiles, if we lose our ability for incoming or to see what's going on, then that is a major blow to the United States. Obviously, we have backup systems. We have AWACS in the area. Shit like this that can assist. But it is good. And they do know what they're doing, unfortunately. It's national park, it's mountains. I heard all the tourists are going to the Isle of Skye now. And I heard the people in the Isle of Skye are starting to get pissed off at all the Western tourists coming up there. What are you fucking cunts doing here? You're fucking clogging me road, you fucking bastard. Fucking A, very nice. But you see, my family is Scots, Swiss, and a little Deutsche. Mostly Scots and Swiss, if I recall. There might be some Irish in there, I'm not sure. First generation Irish, very nice. Yeah, we're definitely in northern UK. I know it's in North England, Northern Ireland, Wales, but it's called Dunrobin Castle. Dunrobin Castle is what you need to look up, and that's the family lineage right there for me is Dunrobin, and so my family hailed from there until Isle of Skye is a bucket list. Scotland's the most beautiful place. Ben Nevis Mountain. Now, Dunrobin Castle is not a ruined castle, so that's one of the better fun things about that is there's a lot of ruined castles on the coast of Scotland. There was a lot of wars in central England, specifically central and northern, central and south England, all over England, except for the very high end north. There was just war everywhere. Fantastic, but there's a lot of battlefields I'd like to go to as well. Where's the one where, was it Charlemagne? Whoever it was came in and he fucking conquered England, whatever it was. There was a big battle. So there. Anyway, let's continue. It's just my thing reconnected again. It just fucking went like whoop and reconnected. So new polls show a low support of the war. 35% of Americans supporting the war. And a danger for Tehran to start a war. 1 week into the war, the dangers for the U.S. and Trump multiply. By the way, I'm going to show you some footage here in just a second of what we're seeing in Iran. And there are major attacks on oil refineries, not only on our side, but Iran's oil refining capabilities have all but been destroyed. The United States today openly attacked Iran's oil refining capabilities. The fires are some of the largest fires I have ever seen in my entire life. And I mean, wow, you should see what an oil refinery on fire at its complete stem to stern looks like. And that's what I'll show you here coming up. It is fucking wicked. Dubai's marina has been hit by another blast after a luxury apartment building was blown up by a Shahed drone that hit the apartment building, and chaos at the airport after drone blitz at the Dubai airport. Mar-a-Lago is turning into Donald Trump's command center for the war. And now the United States says that they want Europe's help after talking shit for a year. Now, seems about even. Poly market, people are gambling on war. Jesus Christ. Stock up on perishables. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do have ammunition, I will have to say, and I have one gun. So I can do something, but I think there's sleeper cells here. Southwest Airlines flight was diverted to Atlanta due to a security threat amid terror fears. And the Oscars suck this year, apparently. ICE arrests a Spanish language news reporter in Tennessee. And the Epstein files claim that Donald Trump fucked a kid and the kid bit his penis. Yikes. And the United States unsanctions Russian oil. So India will begin buying Russian oil, and the United States will begin allowing this. Crude oil prices surged 35% in a week. This is the beginning of the energy crisis that the world has been waiting for, according to multiple sources. And an AI agent, so an AI freed itself and started mining cryptocurrency by itself. Goddamn. And Venezuela has now been recognized by the United States, the new government of Venezuela, and inflation has hit 475% this year alone. Now, you know how things are in Iran, where they show only clips of footage, not long 2-minute things. So what I'm going to show you is the country of Iran under attack. These are footage of Iran after the U.S. and Israeli forces struck the regime's oil refining capabilities. So I'm going to be showing you, and I'm going to put this on TikTok later, as I can. I should probably start retweeting this, because if I don't, the government in America has been hiding certain... Look at that. It looks sideways, and I don't know how to fucking fix that. Goddamn Chinese shit. Okay. So you'll be seeing a lot of these for the first time with me, if that's okay. And we are going to zoom in. And I'm going to show you what is going on in Iran and throughout the Middle East right now, as we take a look at the godforsaken hellhole that the world is turning into. Is everybody ready? Okay. This is an oil refinery that was just hit by American and Israeli forces. Please share the live stream. Yes, please share the live stream. So this is an oil refinery that was hit outside of Tehran somewhere. I haven't seen fires like this since the Gulf War. Back, the first Gulf War, when Saddam Hussein took out the oil refineries. Here is another one. This is oil. Oil has gotten into the sewers in Iran, and the sewers are on fire with oil. So the sewers are on fire with oil. I want to be very clear with what we're seeing here. The oil from the refineries have gotten into the sewers, and the sewers have ignited on fire. That is a first for me, right there. That is a first for me. I never thought I'd see the day when oil got into the sewers and caught on fire. There's the dead. This is the aftermath of a skyscraper being hit in Dubai. That's some hot shit. Oh, man. So that was a Shahed drone was flown into an apartment building, a luxury apartment building in Dubai. When the oil rains down on you, absolutely. That's what I was hearing. I was like, oh my God. I remember the footage of it. And oh, dude. Fucking, is a hot oil raining down on you? No thanks. So this is the oil refinery again. Yeah, this is some powerful shit. And I'm going to put the videos of this on my TikTok account. And I will be putting it so it doesn't have the distortion you're seeing from my camera. I'm going to put the actual videos on there so that you can see it real time. I mean, look at that. Is like fucking, what, 5 city blocks of fire? I have never seen. I mean, I remember there was the bomb. It's getting into like World War II almost style of attacks here, right? Typically, we would see, like, even in Operation Shock and Awe, it was bad, but yeah. Now this is in Israel, and this is Iran has been firing missiles into Israel. Absolutely, Nana. Now, of course, Donald Trump said that this would be happening. This is a Chinese intelligence ship, by the way. This is now off the coast of Oman. So the video's not loading here, but I've seen this Chinese intelligence ship. A lot of people are saying that they're probably giving intel to the Iranians. This was March 6th. This is a day or two ago. And I'll put that oil refinery footage on TikTok coming up on Sup America 2. Excuse me. What's this? I think this is AI. Yeah, that's AI bullshit. What is this? 5 hours ago, Iran blew up. Trump says Iran blew up.
75 people. Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen, that was done by Iran.
Is that true, Mr. Hexet? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating.
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
We think it was done. We think it was done by Iran because they're very inaccurate, as you know, with their munitions. They have no accuracy whatsoever. It was done by Iran.
Did the United States bomb a girls' elementary school in southern Iran on the first day of the war and kill 175 people?
Based on what I've seen,
I do too, Marine.
Iran.
I do too.
Is that true, Mr. Hexet? It was Iran who did that?
We're certainly investigating.
Still
But
investigating.
the only side that targets civilians is Iran.
Yeah, I've heard every single side did it so far. I've heard Iran did it, I've heard we did it, and I heard that Israel did it. So I have heard every single side did it, and I'm like, okay, somebody actually did it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I'm not 100% sure because, like, I don't have the facts because I wasn't there. I've seen the dead. I've seen the footage. Right, here's an American radar system that was targeted by Iran. So that was an American radar tower that was hit. So let's take a look at that. This is interesting because this is against us. So that was targeted with a $30,000 drone. AI did it. That's what a lot of people are saying because they said that we blew up, as of yesterday, we blew up 3,000 targets. They said a great deal of those were, this is AI. Look at this AI shit. No American soldier would ever be like this.
Wait, American people, look at this building. It almost became our grave. I stay in this dust and you stay safe. God bless America. Hit follow. Wait, American people, look at this building. It almost became our grave. I stay in this dust and you stay safe. God bless America. Hit follow.
Look at his helmet. That's some AI shit right there. Look at the helmet. Look at the helmet. Yeah, look at that. Not even close to fucking. Are you kidding me? Somebody would be dressing that man down for that. Are you kidding me? The fuck? AI horse shit. Anyway, it's all AI. A lot of it's AI horse shit. You gotta make sure you don't step into bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. Flames again in Iran. Now, this is from, what day is this? This is March 7th. Oh, it's today. So this is from the London Daily Mail. They're showing some images here. These two, and here, there you go. This one right here is fireball could be seen from miles away while residents complained of a lingering burning smell followed by aerial military strikes. Here's the IDF confirming it carried out strikes on Iran's regime infrastructure on Saturday. This is the international airport in Iran. What'd that fuckface say? So this is the Iranian, this is the international airport in Tehran. This is fucked up. So that's fucked up. That's not going to work. I showed you those images right there, obviously. There's the HMS Prince of Wales. Glad to see you're in service as well. Very nice to have you company. This right here, man dies after interception debris lands on his car. I made a video about that earlier. And Dubai airport evacuated. Oh my God, with the ads. Nobody wants fucking whatever you're selling, dude, at all. None of it. Fuck you. A 30-second ad for a 20-second video. I need to get fucking ad blockers. Except for YouTube. I don't want to do that. I definitely want no ad blockers on YouTube. Only on this bullshit. Because fuck this Vistaprint. Blah, 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 blah. It's not copywritten. Suck my ass. Is this the Dubai airport?
It's coming to the airport again. Ya Allah. Ya Allah, straight to the airport. Oh my God. Ya Rab.
So that's hitting the Dubai airport. So obviously they're not going to be flying out after something like that. Sure, that's not AI. It sucks I have to question everything now. You know what I mean? What? It's real. Now, this was Iranians built a massive statue of Baal and burned it down. Yeah, I remember that. But that was before we started attacking. So that was nice, burning Baal. I like that. I like that video right there. That's the only thing the Iranian government ever did right. Was burning that statue of Baal. Good job.
I can't tell you. Probably not.
And do you think the map of Iran looks the same after this is all? And do you think the map of Iran looks the same after this is all done?
I can't tell you. Probably not.
There you go. Probably not. I would say Iranian map would ever be the same. You know what I mean? After this. Okay, so let's see any other footage we got going on here. Here's the refinery footage I showed you. And this is how you have to do it. You have to look at this, and then that's the one. I'll put that on a thing, and then you got to look up like Tehran and what's going on just happened there. So those oil refinery explosions were in Tehran. So that's big news right there that's going on. Breeding bull entered a farm full of cows. That's funny. Look closely at the Islamic clerics in Tehran threatening unarmed citizens instead of fighting against Israel. Death to rioters, they're saying. Israel's getting some of that too. Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! And there's IRGC members gearing up so they can go ride around and kill people. So their country's being blown up around their fucking eyes, around their necks, and they're going to go murder their own people. See how that works? That's Tehran right now. That's another apocalyptic fire going on from Tehran. And I'll get this footage out here along with the airport footage. That is, it's from a different angle. Yeah, now this is another angle of it. Yeah, holy fuck, look at that. That's from further away, obviously. So that is some shit now, isn't it? That, my friends, is some shit now. But just for people that aren't new here or whatever, don't assume you know my politics before you talk to me, for God's sakes. I hate when people do that, when they just violently attack like monkeys. This is from the airport, it looks like, or close to it. The airport was also bombed as well. And that is what is going on in Iran, Tehran, right this current moment. So, yeah, the golden age of America. Yeah, it seems further away. Oh my God. This was 6 minutes ago. Apparently near the facility. I need to, hold on. That's the total. Don't worry, I won't. That's the totality. Let me go back just because this is so huge. That's the totality of the fire you're seeing. All right, so we are... Like, I will say, though, regardless of what people say, Iran has held the world hostage for a very long time. So, like, I'm not ignorant to what Iran has done. They have murdered tens, hundreds of thousands of people. They, IRGC, their little fucking dumbass authority force, has raped and killed thousands of girls that we would consider very underage here in America, right? An absolute travesty, something that if you were a father or something, you would be wanting blood immediately for what the government has done to your family. And so it's not that I don't have, like, I have sympathy, but I also am well aware that something's got to give here. And these people cannot be in charge of this country. But I also don't want to see innocent people die. Obviously, the duality of man, correct? And we say, well, we want it to be better. We want it to be nicer. We want everything to be kind and happy and play it against sports, blah, blah, blah. But we're not going to be having that because these people have voted to kill everybody. Their own people even. And they even attacked their neighbors. How many countries did Iran attack? 12 nations? Right? Isn't that what that was? 12 nations? And then they apologized saying we're not going to do that anymore? Well, fuck you. You attacked 12 fucking nations. Most of them innocent. Some of them even your allies because you're a fucking loose cannon. And then you want our support. I'm talking about the Gulf states. I'd say, fuck you. Eat a big fucking bag of dicks. You do not deserve. The struck building is Kuwait's social insurance institution. So let's look up Kuwait because we've got some big moves going on in Kuwait, it looks like. Social Security Tower in Kuwait is up in flames. So there's Kuwait right now. This is what Iran does. This is what Iran does. This is what their government does. See how that is? Now, of course, you'll have to look up that and make sure it's real because... Yep. Multiple sources, including Al Jazeera, Hindustan, report high-rise fire at Kuwait's public institutions during a wave of drone attacks. Gulf targets and fire contained by responders. So that is real footage right there. That's happening in real fucking life. And once again, the Iranian government is proving themselves. They apologize for going after the fucking allies or their friends, and then what do? They blow up and attack their friends and allies. Once again, absolute sickening behavior from the Iranian government, saying that they're going to never harm their friends, allies, blah, 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 and then they do that. What a sick group, the IRGC. They, once again, are proving themselves. Exactly my point, and exactly why I support Iran being free, because the Iranian government has absolutely nothing but disdain for human life. And you can say Israel and the United States all you want, but what gives you the right to be as bad or worse with your actions? So that's what you're saying is that since Israel, and I understand warfare, you're saying that because Israel attacked you somehow ideologically 35 years ago, or because of Palestine, it gives you the right to kill innocent people at an apartment building in fucking Kuwait. That is not what that is. That's you projecting your bullshit, which pisses me off even more, because killing people that are... So if you're in the military and you get shot by a bad guy, or you shoot a bad guy or whatever, that's to be expected, because that's the business. But if you're killing civilians, you don't deserve to live. That's the difference, is killing civilians versus killing combatants. And these people go after soft targets. Anybody who goes after a soft target or combatants like that deserves to be shot, in my opinion. So if you say, well, I'm going to take out, like, this government's attacking me. Oh, okay, so what are you going to do? I'm going to kill the civilians. Well, you deserve to be shot. You're a piece of shit. $210 billion, Jesus. I mean, that's about right. I figured it'd be... Didn't I say it was 200-something billion yesterday? Or I said $500 million. I said it would cost us $500 million. Or $500 billion. I'm sorry. Damn, what is this? And Kuwait's airport has been attacked by a drone. And this is on verified news on Twitter. So this is, yeah, so we have some big shit going on. Kuwait is under attack raw right now. So I will be putting this footage up on Twitter or TikTok coming up here. Goddamn, they're still doing it. So who lost their life? NYPD mourns the loss of police officer Sorfai Davius, who passed away yesterday as a result of a medical episode while deployed to Kuwait in Operation Epic Fury. So we lost another man. Kuwait International Airport is now on fire. I don't like that footage nor that footage. And you didn't even film it? Oh, dude, you suck. Like, for that, I would have stopped. You know what I mean? I cannot believe this building is on fire like that. Look at that, man. And there's another, yeah, there's the big one right there. Okay. So that's what we're seeing right now with Iran. The Gulf states are being attacked again. It looks like Gulf states are trending. And then here's the drone aircraft carrier. Well, this is Fox footage that's going on here. I don't want to watch that horse shit. There's the drones firing at us. And what is this? What's happening in the Gulf states? Something catastrophic. This is on the 6th. So old. It's not old footage, but you know what I mean. We have Gulf states have resumed partial commercial service with Emirates Air. So that's fantastic. Iran's hypersonic missiles falls on Haifa. Ignites fires at an oil refinery. I thought this was the other day, though. I thought this was at the start of the war. So this might be old footage right here. Or it could be they attacked again. Take it easy, Nana. So this is in Haifa. I don't know if this is right now. We'll get into that. But it just seems to me that this might start ramping up. It already looks like it's ramping up. I don't know if anybody can... Okay, so that's what we did to those men. Rockets from Lebanon. These are rockets from Lebanon firing into Israel again. Those are Hezbollah rockets. It's hard to do. Well, I mean, okay, so the thing is, all those people talking shit, am I really that bad? That's what I wonder. Like, all those people talking shit at the beginning there. Am I really that fucking bad to where I deserve the shit talking from such vitriolic dumb fucks? U.S. gas price is out of control. There we go. We've got $7.81 a gallon. I'm assuming that's out in California. That is absolutely fucking crazy. So yeah, my whole thing, so that's the thing. If I'm level-headed, what is wrong with people? Like, why are they fucked up? That's my thing. If I'm the way I am and it's okay, then what is wrong with them? Why are they so fucking deranged? Like, what happened to our world? Or are they just narcissistic shitheads? Real quick, before I go, I want to show you what I was talking about initially. I'm going to show you White Rabbit. Okay, so first of all, this was somebody that tried to assassinate Jake Lang and White Rabbit today. So this guy that's running away right here, those two were arrested for throwing a bomb at Jake Lang and White Rabbit on TikTok. So the police came and ended up arresting them. This was today with Jake Lang, I Am the Midnight, and White Rabbit. This is what was going on. I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So this group of liberal agitators, as much as I know Jake Lang is a racist, and everybody should know that. Now here is White Rabbit. This is the end of it. I need to get the other parts of it. No, this is the beginning. So this is Jake Lang and White Rabbit carrying a roasted pig to Zohran Mamdani's office while being harassed by agitators, and you'll hear White Rabbit say, "Come at me." This is White Rabbit right here, and that's Jake Lang.
I see that.
You know you're protecting us as cops around here. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth, beta boy. No. New York City, my city.
So there's White Rabbit, and there's Jake Lang.
Hey, you're not going to do shit but run your mouth. Yes, I am. Beta. Smarter than you. Better things. Whiteness. Whiteness. I have more money. I'm not sure.
No, White Rabbit's stepping up. You see that? White Rabbit was stepping up. Holy shit. And so this was a Jake Lang protest, but this is what we got here. This is from the mayor's office, or from the police department.
At approximately 12:38 p.m., a counter-protester, identified as Amir Balat, an 18-year-old man, lit and threw an ignited device toward the protest area, landing in the crosswalk of East 87th Street and East End Avenue. Witnesses reported seeing flames and smoke as it traveled through the air before it struck a barrier and extinguished itself a few feet from police officers. Mr. Balat then ran southbound on East End Avenue toward 86th Street and gets a second device from a man tentatively ID'd as Ibrahim Nick.
Oh, so they had multiple bombs.
Mr. Balat lights the device and starts running with it. He then drops the device on the west side of East End Avenue.
They called it peaceful protesting.
At East 87th Streets. Officers immediately secured the area and they took both men into custody. This was all captured on NYPD Argus camera. The bomb squad responded and examined the devices. Based on preliminary examination and X-ray imaging, the devices, which were a bit smaller than a football, appear to be a jar wrapped in black tape, importantly with nuts, bolts, and screws, along with a hobby fuse that could be lit. At this time, we do not yet know whether the devices were...
Okay, so White Rabbit and Jake Lang were almost blown up by a bomb. Jake Lang dry humping a goat. Here's what happened here. Now you'll see they roll up, and this is Jake Lang, I Am the Midnight, and White Rabbit. So there's Jake Lang, there's White Rabbit, and I Am the Midnight's over there. Now, that was the first encounter of them at a pro-Ayatollah Khomeini rally. So, and they have him mentioning Jake Lang, but they don't mention White Rabbit. So, that's what we're doing here. By the way, the two guys driving the bus were Jewish, which is even more fucked up because you had Jake Lang, which was given a Nazi salute not long ago, with White Rabbit, who's clearly just a good old boy, if you want to call it that, with I Am the Midnight, who is Jewish and was bar mitzvahed. It's an odd mix of life, seeing the history. So these are the Antifa protesters that were against Jake Lang earlier. And they throw a bomb at him coming up here. See? And then they all run away because they threw a bomb at him.
What the fuck? That was a fucking bomb.
Yeah, there you go. They threw a bomb at him.
What the fuck?
I didn't sign up for this.
Yo, Jesus is king, and he made it that that nail bomb didn't go off. Jesus is king. Thank you.
Now this guy right here, Jake Lang.
Thank you, Lord God. Thank you, Lord God. They threw a nail bomb.
The one thing about this is this incident right here is going to propel him, because here's the Muslim tried to blow up Jake Lang in broad daylight. Identifying these protesters is the first mistake. They're violent insurgents, attempt to murder Jake Lang. They're not protesters. So now this is giving credence to what Jake Lang is saying is right, whether you believe it or not. On the topic of the nail bomb, I've recorded a bit of the scene afterwards. Cops believe this targeted attack. Why Jake Lang? Because Islamic people, the Muslims hate Jake Lang because Jake Lang wants to burn the Quran and shit. So here's the footage from their end. This is the footage from the protesters.
I believe somebody just tried to throw an improvised explosive device. It's that little pink package right there. I can't really zoom on my camera, but...
So is that it right there? I'll try to get more footage of that, but it is, there's the guy that did it. They did arrest the guy. I saw the little piece of shit on live stream. I was watching I Am the Midnight's live stream earlier. And I did see that. Now here's Jake Lang. Here's Antifa. Here's Antifa getting in the way, trying to stop Jake Lang. Yeah, he didn't agree with him, but you see, that's the thing, is now everybody, like, you know that the Islamic protesters like this are violent. No, and that's the thing. It's not even about free speech. They just want to kill anybody that they don't know. They just want to murder. And not just as I'm talking these Antifa members. It's in there. So even if they don't, so like even if you say, well, I don't like your politics, you should never want to kill anybody. These people want to kill someone. They have a bloodlust. They're not going to stop until they do kill somebody. The goat's in the back. We're going to have a problem. Okay, so Jake Lang and his crew made it away. I haven't seen any of the new stuff. Here is another one. This is the guy that screamed Allah Akbar and threw a bomb at Jake Lang. He's being arrested right now. So these fuckfaces tried to blow up Jake Lang. Yeah. So they threw a bomb at him. So hopefully he'll do 25 to life in jail. His name was Ibrahim, honey. So that piece of shit gets to go to jail for trying to kill Midnight, White Rabbit, and Jake Lang. And then we have news here. Chaos erupts outside of... Oh, they were at Mom Donnie's house. Yeah, okay, so this is on the Huffington Post. Well, White Rabbit made the Huffington Post. Not paying for your shitty... There's the bomb. There's an image of the bomb right there. That's the nail bomb that they threw at White Rabbit and I Am the Midnight and at Jake Lang earlier that didn't go off. So, yeah, there was two guys. There's Jake Lang with a goat. There's White Rabbit on the fucking Huffington Post. Are you kidding me? Really? That's some insane shit right there. That's some insane shit right there. I actually cannot. That is fucking wicked right there. That could get you a. Well, I don't know. They won't verify you on TikTok because they would consider that racist, wouldn't they? There's a pro. Oh, it's a. Yeah, you're right. There's That's what's going on. Oh, okay. Heavy clashes outside of Gracie Mansion with Jake Lang, I Am the Midnight, and White Rabbit. There's Jake Lang. They're pushing him through. There's I Am the Midnight and White Rabbit together. Jake Lang only had about 15 dudes. Yeah, I didn't like the goat thing. That pissed me off. I didn't care for the goat thing. I didn't like that either. You're 100% right. I don't know what, like, I get what they were doing or whatever, but, like, I think it was unnecessary as shit. I think they could have done it with, like, a crusade style thing. They didn't need that. But this is what happened. There was about 250 protesters against Jake Lang, and there was only about 15 men that were protesting for Jake Lang. All right, so it was a very one-sided. Yeah, so I don't know about like I said, I know they were mocking Islam with the goat. I get it, but like, I wouldn't have brought an animal to a protest or a child. Now there's Midnight. There's I Am Midnight. There's White Rabbit. But he wants to be attacked because it helps his side. It helps his... So there's Jake Lang, there's Midnight, there's White Rabbit, all right there. And from what I understand, Jake Lang reached out to I Am the Midnight and White Rabbit. Oh, look at that dude. Look at that. Look at this. You see this person? Keep pushing, you coward. Keep pushing. Like, get the fuck off me, you little weirdo.
It's that simple. Walk.
Oh, seriously? All right, there you go. So he bought the... Okay, so they saved the goat's life. Well, good. That makes me happy about the goat. But these people are, like, trying to attack cops. Come on, you can't do that stupid shit. You get the fuck beat out of you if you do that. What is wrong with... Anyway. So, that's what we've been seeing here with the Jake Lang protests. There's the improvised explosive device. This is going to be huge news, obviously. It's on a lot of news agencies now. So they're definitely making a name for themselves in the anti-Islam community. I personally don't care what your religion is. Just the fuck? This White Rabbit's just his face. What are we doing here? There's no sound. How do I get the sound on? How do I turn the fucking sound on? Where's the thing at? So I don't know how to turn the sound on this fucking shit. Is that bad? That's a day ago. Hold on, let me see. I want to see if he's got anything up here that's new. No, just the shit he had on here earlier. All right, well, either way, what's been going on with that is there's a precursor here to protest. It's starting to get warm out. So we're starting to see a lot of protests popping off, little ones mostly. There's a couple ones, like here's a protest right here. I'm not really exactly sure where they're at. I'm assuming this is Los Angeles. So we do have a protest here outside of an ICE facility. But as you can see, they're quite small. Tensions have mainly turned to Iran currently. And I have a feeling that this will be popping off when it comes to mid-early spring. Shit like that. Here's a Stop the War protest. Now, as you saw, Jake Lang and all them were protesting and doing all that other crap. This right here was the initial protest that they tried to crash. Was this right here. So, or something similar in New York City. I think this was in California. It was actually all over the country. But this was the Stop the War protest. Let's go back because, yeah, you have... Yeah, this was New York City. This is the one Jake Lang was protesting. This is in Chicago. San Francisco. And then we got Missouri, St. Louis. Just kidding. Washington, D.C. Oh, God. New York. Yes, so this is what we're going to be seeing throughout probably the next couple of weeks. Are going to be big protests. Like here's in London. This is from Al Jazeera. So we're seeing this same old bullshit. So this will happen for a while. Of course, I don't trust the English government whatsoever, I'm sorry to say. And no new updates from Jake Lang or the White Rabbit, but we'll keep your eyes on that and see if they get blown up in a fucking terrorist attack, because that seems to be what is happening here. Let's see one more about this dude.
Everybody meet the new Ayatollah.
I can hear midnight in the background. All right, so here's Jake Lang being assaulted initially. He's got a bunch of reporters around him. I just want to remind everybody there was only 15 people that were supporting Jake Lang, and you can hear him calling him a Nazi. Why with the chirping noise? Don't forget the thumbs up, by the way. Oh, this was after the fact. This is when they brought the pig. Why don't you punch the guy back? That's serving and protecting, defending a Nazi? So you don't get to dictate politics, man. Glad I was not a part of that. No, it won't. Palestine will never be free. It's bombed to nothing. Move on. So what's going on over here? Like a bunch of people just standing around? Is this what we're doing here? You ain't going nowhere, pussy. Huh. So, the bigger question is, do you guys think Jake Lang is a Nazi? Do you think Jake Lang is a Nazi? He's a dork, kind of a douche, but not a real Nazi. So you got about, what, 100 people, 150, 100 people or so protesting Jake Lang and, what, 5 other dudes? Sitting there fighting the midnight. Sitting there fighting. Look. Right there. Sitting there tussling. They're fucking tussling. There's White Rabbit. What the fuck are you protecting? The human, even if you don't like him. That's what. Yeah, he does this shit to get on a rise. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. So I don't know what the deal is going to be here with the end results of this with Jake Lang and some of the. Oh! We got Midnight's fighting them. Yeah, we got fists coming. Yep. Yep. Yeah, these two guys right here, TikTokers. Yeah, they're getting into a tussling. Yes, sir. So I haven't seen this exact footage yet, so this is new. What's to do with the harmonica? You hear that? So you got another joint real quick? What? And then I'll finish it after we smoke it? No, because I still got a little more to go. And they're putting the target symbol. See that one right there? That's what they were putting over. Yeah. Over people that they were killing and yeah. White Rabbit kind of looks uncomfortable. White Rabbit looks uncomfortable. Midnight's holding his own. Now, Midnight is Jewish. The guy with the red hat, that dude's Jewish. And Jake Lang, they say, is a Nazi. So I don't know what the fuck's going on here, but Midnight's not a bad guy. Yeah, they can. People are reactionary. They're upset. And they want to take it out on something. And they can't do a there's no way that they can do a any type of compromise. They can't attack Trump because they don't have any links to him. They don't have any power in the world, and so they attack anybody that they believe represents what they would like to attack. That's kind of what I believe. Now somebody just got hit. Hold on. Yeah, we got some fists coming up here. Hold on. So we got a White Rabbit fight. Is that what we're doing? Yeah, we got some tussling going on. Allah Akbar. Now, so what? Okay, so other than being like racist and shit, what exactly did Jake Lang do? Is it just the Islam shit? Or is there like something he did? Like, did he like fucking, beat up somebody that was black or something? I don't know what it is. Is that what he was, a keyboard warrior? Well, he's trying to beat the shit out of him, the guy with the... So what's like the point of all this exactly? Or they're barricading people.
Hey, relax! What are you doing? What are you doing? Relax!
To prove it, TikTok famous. Is that what it is? So now they're being accosted, it looks like, from either side. Well, these people would kill him, though. Like, these psychos will fucking kill him. But yeah, like, well, I don't know. That's the thing. Yeah, and I know it's to prove Islam, and it's about free speech and all that other shit. That's fine and everything. Oh, somebody attacked Midnight. He just knocked his hat off. They got it back. There you go. So this is why. So they were assaulted before they even came in, and then they came back and tried to blow him up with a bomb. He doesn't have a vest on this time, though. And I'll tell you what, it definitely made news, man. It's on the Huffington Post and shit. Now, Jake Lang was brought up on charges in Minnesota. Yeah, there's definitely extremism, but I feel bad for the goat. I just figured that, like, I mean, it'll expose it, but it's not going to do anything. This dude have a sign up that says, "We are Jeffrey Epstein." Did you see that? Oh my fucking God. Well, there you go. Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, I know people don't like conservatives or whatever. That's fine, but why did everybody become so violent? Like liberals. How did that happen? Oh, White Rabbit just flexed. Did you see that? Dude pushed him. He went like this. He went and just fucking elbowed at him. Not a single mind was changed that day. No, and it won't be. Everybody's already in their camps anyway. Now, New York City, obviously, like, so if you did this in New York City like they're doing, you're obviously going to get 90% against you. If you had this exact same rally in what? Fucking, where's a conservative? Like Chattanooga, Tennessee, you'd have fucking 500 people on your side and 30 on their side. You know what I mean? So the liberal versus conservative divide here in the United States has gotten so bad that you got this psychotic bullshit. Not understanding that you don't have to, like, give this any attention. I mean, I know I'm showing it right now, but you can just, instead of protesting it, there's like 5 people with a goat making fun of Islam. Well, just ignore it and walk away. Then it's just a couple of crazy people. But when you give it attention like this, it makes something out of nothing. And that's apparently, and that's the point. That's the point, to show how radical they are, that even something as minor as walking a goat around the streets of New York, which should not be considered anything weird. I've seen homeless people shitting in trash cans. So it shouldn't be that weird. So, honey, you think I should have gone? Now, where is Midnight at? Because he's not there anymore.
Go the fuck back to Staten Island, bitch! We love the Quran! We love the Quran!
We love the Quran. Ew. I can't agree with that. Somebody punch him. You hear this? They can't even tolerate the voice. All right, let's keep going. Oh, you fucking dumb. Oh, what do we got going here? We got some mobbing. We got some mob-a-doo. But I hear clown music in the background. Do you hear that? Yeah, don't hurt the goat, fuckface. Don't hurt the animal. People are okay, but don't hurt the animal, you little fucking douche. Atmosphere's disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, I have like a belief like Christopher Hitchens had about Islam. So some of my policies might be liberal, but I definitely am more of a Christopher Hitchens like. Now, here is where they went through, and you have these people that were his supporters going through, and it seems like they roped him off. Now, there's I Am the Midnight, and I don't know what he's saying. So they've separated the protesters from this, and I'm assuming this is where we initially saw. Yeah, and then they threw a bomb at him. So I'll show you that here in a second, which, of course, they could have taken that goat out. So there's Jake Lang, thinking he's hard shit. And then... So I saw this part. I came in about... At some point, they throw a bomb at him. Hold on. Okay, so they're protesting here. And then they threw a bomb. Now, they threw it at Jake Lang, but the bomb was by the cops. So this guy put a bunch of cops' lives in danger. So despite the 15 guys here, the bomb ended up being by 10 or 12 cops. And so that's them running away. You'll see the improvised explosive device right there. These people were stupid for being by it, but that's an IED right there. So they threw an improvised explosive device on Jake Lang, trying to kill him, and then this goes. Now remember, they threw it at several cops too. So then there's them talking about it, and then this is the fuckbag getting arrested. This is the guy that threw a bomb at Jake Lang and the other guys that were there protesting. So this is what we're, fused with no gunpowder, okay. Now, they said they had 2 devices, but I didn't hear the end results of the devices, so then it goes on. They're corralled here protesting for, what, an hour? Then they order the protesters that are attacking them to disperse. They arrest some of them, they let them go, and then they get them in a U-Haul, and then they fucking leave. So that's basically the protest that was going on. They did say, look at the increase here. You can see the screws on the ground there. And over there, there's a screw. So it had nails, bolts, and screws on it. But like somebody just said here on TikTok or on YouTube, I'm sorry, that there are no gunpowder in it. So that would make the device inoperable. So that is the news right there. So that is what we saw, ladies and gentlemen. Been a hectic day, it looks like. It looks like also that the major fighting and the major bombing in Iran has started. So that's fantastic. I can't wait until the Iranian government falls. And as far as Jake Lang, you tell me. I don't really know what to make of that right there. Looks like there's been a lot of back and forth going on between protesters, right wing and left wing, and it looks like we're going to be continuing to see that. So, like I said, some people say it was a smoke device, not a bomb. We'll get into what that New York City Police Department says that's a problem. And mass shooting and bomb threat on a plane. Wait, mass shooting, a bomb threat on a plane, now a bomb thrown at an American citizen. Somebody says Islam is cancer, which is exactly what they were trying to do in the first place. Okay, so anyway, that's the live stream. Don't forget to thumbs up real quick if you can. Sorry about the dozen psychos at the beginning here that apparently if I have my opinion on anything, I'm a Nazi. So I guess just me being alive, I'm a Nazi now. Even though I'm not, I'm a social libertarian. So for fuck's sakes, look up what a goddamn social libertarian is before you threaten me with death. Fucking liberal dumb fucks. Anyway, so don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Wu Tai 1 Nostalgia. That's my gaming channel. Just look up @Nostalgia Man here on YouTube. It's got 263,000 followers. Follow me over there. Follow me here. Obviously, subscribe here if you can. And follow me on TikTok at Sup America, Sup America 2. Wow, that was burpy. And don't lump me in with a group like Jake Lang, for fuck's sakes, okay? That's all I have to say. Although I am not a fan of Allah Akbar, but that's just me. So I will be putting up some good points coming up, or videos on TikTok coming up about the fires that are going on. And you have to understand something, that I am not here to pick a political side. I am here to make sure that the poor become wealthy. I do not have a Twitch. The poor become wealthy. We get fucking our country back to the way it was. And I don't like a political ideology. So if you think you know my political ideology, I promise you don't. That's how it is. So don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. If you don't like me, block me, go fuck yourself. You can find me on Twitter also @SupAmerica. See you later. Bye. Suck my